we were talking about earlier, still holding on to more than half of the position, or right around half of it. So yeah, that's been working out. Let's see if we can head towards this low again today, because Nvidia is starting to rebound. Microsoft has been extremely weak, and Apple looks like it wants to break out as well too. So that's what we got going on.
All right, guys, big boys are that way. Obi in for Neil. I'll see everybody shortly on the big desk. Joseph and I, same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
All right, great job there, guys. Today, yeah, thanks, Sharif. Thanks, Obi, for coming back. Thank you, everybody else, for sticking with us as we get ready to give you guys another closing show. I mean, earnings today, there are some, decent earnings coming through tonight, so we'll wait to see who and what reports. Oklo is going to be a good one. We did see SMR moving around today as well. So, yeah, there should be some good talk here. I heard the guys talk about Rizbot.
Yeah, I actually have seen videos of.
Yeah, I have not, so I'm excited to see that. Thanks, Sharif and Joseph and Adara for pointing that out. That looked pretty fun, walking around there.
I'd be concerned because, it's not the city's not safe for a young lonely robot.
Young lonely
walk
robot.
around, by itself. So could use some protection for sure. What if someone is just screw these robots or whatever? Robots are taking over and tries to damage the bot or something like that. I'm sure that's.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I was always we saw running through our neighborhood the other day too was a little robot delivery. Was in the junction there, so it was like a little machine and delivery. So I'm always nervous about that too. Someone opens up I guess it only opens up your compartment. I guess you don't have to worry too much about theft there, but I don't know. I always wonder about how all this stuff winds up working, Obi. So smarter guys than I are inventing things every single day. We do have this cool thing that was invented here by our good friend Fabian and our friends at Trader TV. Go check this out right now. It's Palantir NUKK. We'll have to see what's going on with that, NUKK. We'll have a look at that symbol as well later, but it's Palantir running the day so far. Open table. People want to see some more about there. I don't know if people have reservations or not at Open Table tonight, but we'll see what's going on with that one. But yeah, so Tilray down here, we'll talk about what happened to Tilray. We got lit on fire on that one as well. So I'm actually going to reset this, and you guys can join us right now at Trader TV Live on YouTube. Go into the chat, put $ whatever, and it's right into here. You got to be part of the chat, and then you put $ETHA. So that's a good one. We'll talk about some Ethereum here today and what's going on with that. Best president ever. Thank you, President Trump, says Big B. So all this stuff, all of your votes now going to get counted up there. Yeah, what's up? $Neil, hopefully coming through tomorrow. So it's nice to have Obi back. I'm blessed to be sitting here with him, so that's going to be a good one here into the close. I only got AMD long right now. We'll have a look there, and we'll double check the visualizer in a couple minutes. Sharif getting ready to go with the morning. So what we do is in the afternoon, we run down what they've been voting on during the afternoon show, the midday show. So that will come up very, very shortly. But yeah, other than that, I don't know if you were doing too much trading.
I was doing some stuff. Some stuff. I was the thing is, I was busy with a few other things, and I didn't see that Microsoft actually cracked through that consolidation low at 502.40s, I think it was, from the past. And look at the selling that's been happening on Microsoft after that consolidation breakdown, 502. This is an absolutely beautiful short. We were talking about this on the 520 breakdown just a couple of weeks ago, and what a swing short this has been on Microsoft. Absolutely beautiful, all the way reversion down into 500, and it seems like we might be looking for more. So what I got busy with on Microsoft, sure, I missed that 502, but I was like, all right, wait, where's the next trade? I could have gotten involved with a little bit of the selling, but I waited for it to kind of start to slow down a little bit, and then took that 500 to 501, sorry, 500 and half to 501 sells into and through that 500, and then I got up and came back to this desk here, having covered most of my position there. So, but we can see that it's been following through nicely. We're at 499. So yeah, much bigger picture trade happening here on Microsoft, but just taking scalps off of it on the intraday. I think the bigger trade, again, is for the swings, for whether you're swinging shares, whether you're selling calls, or whether you're buying puts. I think that's the trade here, or that has been the trade here on Microsoft, and it's been working out absolutely beautifully since earnings. We talked about that exhaustion kind of action on Microsoft off of its earnings report just a few weeks ago, and it's coming in absolutely beautifully. And we were talking about this just before we left as well.
Yep. What
if this is a little bit of the sign of times to come, for other big names that might be reporting, right? Who knows?
Yeah, no, I know. We have, I'm not worried about the NVIDIA report. I'm just worried that it's just not as great as the others.
No, of course not.
And not as great as expectations. I mean, it's tough to have a stock like NVIDIA, and we talked about this just before we left, as you mentioned, that's going to go out at all-time highs.
Yeah.
Like we're waiting for the print while it sits there as the world's largest company by market cap and sitting at all-time highs.
Yeah.
So I think it's like there are some cases there, if they don't hit the numbers, where the bears will come in and absolutely destroy the stock. Or if somehow they guide a lot higher than expected, then you're going to get the shorts that are playing off of that, thinking one way or the other. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. We're long AMD for other reasons. I'm sure it's going to be on the rundown here today as well. They got to deal with IBM and some supercomputing deal there. I really like IBM today. I feel like they're a name that got hit on earnings, so I think we can look to pick up some value in an IBM. We talked about selling some Palantir the other day at exactly at 160. I mean, on Friday, we were mad on Thursday that we didn't get, we went to 150, remember it went to 157.98 or something, and Neil's like, it's at 158. I'm like, yes, I got filled, and then we looked, and it missed us by 2 pennies. Well, right now you're back to that 160 level there for Palantir. What a move up to 161.50 here today. Andre, let me know if and when we're ready. I'm just sort of waiting.
I think we are.
We are ready. Okay, perfect. All right, so we are ready for the rundown. And again, this is voted on by you, very similarly to what you're doing right now, as I see that's filling up. But let's go over the midday, what's happening now for the rundown.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every day. The boys are locked and loaded. They're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers up there, get into the chat and vote for them every day. Throw in that $sign followed by whatever ticker your heart so desires. Here's a look at all 4 major averages, and all 4 major averages in positive territory, but barely. Top left of your screen is a triple Qs, the NQ ETF up 0.11. Top right of your screen, very similar look here with the S&P 500 ETF, the SPY, up 0.1%. Bottom left of your screen, the best performing major average on the day, the Russell 2000. We've been seeing this a lot more lately, up 0.9%. And the Dow, much like the ES and the NQ, flat, up 0.06%. Not a bad look. The first ticker, though, as decided by you guys, PLTR, it's been in this zone, guys, for the past few days, holding that 150 level, but having really kind of trouble clearing 160 as it, kind of floats near all-time highs.
We have Randy here, and Randy, of course, we did what was for lunch, and I thought it was pretty good. It was some Thai basil beef right there. So you've got that. So opinion, thumbs up, thumbs down is good. Thumbs up. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Did you have any of that, Obi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was really good, and we had a side salad there with a little bit of some orzo type thing there, salad. So I think that was really good. This is what Joe's opinion is. Thumbs down. This guy always has to be different, eh?
Why is that?
You don't like that, Joe?
See, it's got some pie in there or something? Why are you thumbing it down, bro?
Oh, he put it all. He mixed the salad.
Oh, come on.
I don't know if you want to mix salad with rice.
Yeah. I mean,
this guy, everything. All right, hair done, nails done, everything
makes
big. Okay, so, oh, by the way, congratulations.
Boom.
To Travis Kelce. I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of a prenup involved here, but you just married Taylor Swift while you're getting engaged to Taylor Swift. That's been announced. So I'm gonna have to.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hear about this. I mean, the guy signed a $100 million deal with the NFL. Like the guy's made with Kansas City Chiefs enough money, but she made billions. Like on her last tour, or at least hundreds of millions of dollars. So shout out to, unfortunately, the Kansas City Chiefs, who, sometimes, I don't know, the NFL works in weird ways, man. Like sometimes you get these announcements and then you never win again. The New York Giants, no, it's true. The New York Giants, they were all celebrating. They took this picture on a boat. They all had their shirts off, and people in New York and in the NFL know what I'm talking about. It's called Boatgate or something like that. Odell Beckham was on there. All these guys were partying. They were living life. I don't think they've necessarily even won a game. I'm just joking, but they haven't been competitive since they took that picture. So right here, although, not to say that getting married means the end of anything, but Travis Kelce and company,
you sure about that?
Right there. For myself, I'm sure about it, but I know for many others, maybe that's great news for the Green Bay Packers, That's for sure. And great news for Neil's Buffalo Bills. Remember that team?
Yeah.
Yeah, because their arch nemesis basically are the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
So they make it, basically the Bills make it to the finals or the semifinals of the division or the conference every year, only to run into the Kansas City Chiefs, which have their number, which have beat them, I think, 3 of the last 4 years or something.
Damn.
And Kansas City's then gone on to compete at the Super Bowl. And yeah, Neil, we'll talk about this tomorrow with NEAL. All right, so here's Palantir, man. I mean, I didn't think this was going to happen today. I didn't really see any reasons. I was actually waiting to put Palantir on the watch list, or on my sticky note, sorry, when we had like a real positive catalyst, because I was like, okay, any kind of positive catalyst here, this thing will bump up, because we've had a string of negativity associated with this name. As everybody, Google got some defense spending contracts last week. That was for cloud computing. Okay, Palantir's, that's not what Palantir does. So for some reason, they were hit on that news, and I remember that day. And then they got hit on Andrew Left and his friends talking about valuation and slapping a $40 puff pass price tag on this thing. Whether or not it's going to $40 or not, I don't know. But I did trim some out right here at 160, and it's at the price it's at right now. So again, I like the stock. I was waiting for some news. Obviously, the market liked it as well. It bought off VWAP this whole way. It bounced off of 159 right there. It kept on going higher. So there's 159 and there's VWAP. Like that, you know, that kind of sort of confluence, and that used to be a word that came out of your mouth every once in a while. I haven't heard that in a while, I don't think.
No, I say it a lot.
Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah. But anyways.
I said it a bunch of times yesterday, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that matches. And like right now, when you get VWAP plus a key level, I like that 159. We'll see if we can come back into there. Obviously, no real huge news here today, but a momentum name, right? One of the biggest. There's this, there's Tesla, Nvidia, all the momentum names. I think for now, anyways, are back here today. We'll see if it can hold this bid. Going upside, Palantir, 60 million shares. We've seen it done 200 plus on days when it wants to move. I still really like the stock, and it's a big holding of mine, and I did trim 10%.
Yeah?
I think you got to take something off.
Over the past few days, right?
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, it's not the greatest price. I mean, getting it out at literally at 160 flat is where I offered, and we wound up getting it. It's tricky, right? Because sure, I missed the top at 185 for 10%, but I'm hoping it can get back up there, and then we could take a little bit more out, and then play this long game in the stock, right? I do want to get longer in the indexes, and this might be one of the next moves for me is to go back over there. But for now, I'm getting lighter on Palantir, and I think that's the right play. Next level of concern, this little breaking spot right here, 173s. So if we can get something in and around there, we'll like Palantir. Get a little bit more out if we can get up into the 170s, which could be tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that we're definitely, again, poised for maybe a little bit higher. I like that we keep talking about this. The strong flush that we had last Wednesday has been following through with the bid. We got a full 100%, even above 100% reversion on that day, and the bid has been holding up quite well. The 150 bounce prior day was really nice as well, and now pushing back up towards these recent highs at 163. So, yeah, it seems like more of the same here, Sean. You can see that. Yep. Over the run-up, we've had periods of time where, yeah, it was aggressively sold off, maybe even for a couple of months. Look at the beginning of the year. Now, Palantir has been running up for much longer than that. You can see well into the middle of last year, it's been running up since. But February to April, we did kind of sell off pretty aggressively, 124s to 60s. So, oh boy, maybe a 50% shave on that. But take a look at this. That 50% shave gives you another over 100% move. So it's like, yeah, sometimes you got to be able to stomach some of the pullbacks. That's healthy price action, especially on something that's been extended so aggressively, right? And yeah, so the bid stepping back in. So we're seeing, for now, more of the same aggressive bidding. Let's see if we can kind of get past these reference prices. 172s I'm watching. That was that strong sell day where right off of the open, the bids were smacked real hard for a multi-day flush all the way down to 142s. But I like the way we're holding structure right now, holding that VWAP really well, holding some prior day levels as well. You can see, like you said, that confluence coming in real nice, not at the, maybe at the beginning of the day, but with that VWAP as of right now as well, coming in about $1 up off of that VWAP. So 160, 170 is day high. Can we get to this 163? That's how I see it. That's the first stop on the way a little bit higher. If we can distinctly push through that, it seems like buyers are definitely there over the past few days. Let's see if we can step it up even higher. Market tailwind obviously is going to help out a little bit, I think, but Palantir holding that strength, man.
AMD and IBM with an interesting collaboration today. AMD up nicely, at least initially kind of selling off a little bit off the high, off that 170 touch. So AMD shares trading higher after the company announced a collaboration with IBM. Additionally, Saudi Arabia's Humane has begun the construction of that 100 megawatt AI data center with Nvidia and AMD's latest chip, guys. Not a bad look.
Yep. All right, so yeah, so I went long. I mean, I still am long on AMD here today. Yeah, look, I thought the story was going to be a little bit bigger than it turned out to be. I mean, the fact that we're actually down from where we opened up is a little surprising to me, considering the Nasdaq went red and decently red early on. For this name to sort of still be underneath VWAP leaves me a little bit. Again, the word is, like, I'm not worried or concerned about this. I know there's been a lot of money made on AMD, and right here, you're right back into like a great zone to start to dip by some of this, and in around 160. I mean, we got as high as 185. It's so funny, Obi, now, because, you know, 10% moves used to be pretty big. Yep. That's right now $25 off of the high. So you've already come back in that more than 10%, about 13 or 14% here off of a most recent high in AMD, and that was just about a week ago is where we topped out. So I still like these levels here. I thought it would have been a little bit better today. It was my number one trade idea, and it'll be my P&L number one, but not the way we expected it, man. It was a decent reload down here at 166. We've just been inching them out as we come a little bit higher. We're out of the money right now. I was gone. No excuse. I don't like to use excuses because I don't think no one cares about them, because whatever. It's just like right into there. I think that was the spot. Yeah. You know, to get the reload 165. I wasn't here at 11:30, and I should have put a bid there. Normally I do those type of things, but I just, you know, didn't do that. So 165, I didn't want to put on a decent amount of shares or anything while I wasn't sitting at my desk, so I didn't do it. Now that we're up here, I feel like this could be the top. It's had a great move, you know, from that 165 in what's a slow market heading in front of Nvidia earnings. To me, I love this stock. It's my number one trade today, and I think you can even look at this tomorrow, again, ahead of Nvidia. But I like AMD. I like that deal there with IBM, and there's some notes I put about there. Collaborating to combine quantum computing, I like that. Create a hybrid model. For AMD, it expands their exposure to next-gen computing with you know, with an IBM partner. So I like the deal. I think for both of them, I think IBM is probably a better buy and one that I'm looking to do, to be honest with you. So like you get out of some Palantir, that's fine. Now you got to look for some opportunities of some depressed names that maybe shouldn't be down here. So I really like IBM in these areas. I think a break in and around this 245, 250 gets this thing back to all-time highs again. So if you're in the tech space and you don't have something, I like IBM down here. I think it's a well under-owned name.
Yeah, I think this was also, when I saw the move in the morning, I was like, all right, one of my top trades on the day, definitely going to be AMD, with it gapping up the way that it has, but didn't really see that sentiment follow through coming in off of the open, kind of ate it all up. Most of the gains there, we did about a 50% retracement down into this reference kind of bid that we got off of the initial news event there. And since then, just kind of chopping in and around that VWAP. We haven't really gotten distinctly above it or held structure. This was where I was trying it a little bit earlier. Where's that chart? Okay, so this is Rich Tech Robotics. I'm watching that right now, but let's pull up AMD real quick to see how it kind of went down and what I was looking for. I remember we talked about it, yep. Kind of reclaiming that VWAP and then holding some structure above so that can poise us for a little bit of a move higher, but that never really happened. I did like the ad on that 66.5. That was nice, but no follow through, so I left it alone after that. And since then, it's just been kind of chop, chop, chop. But yeah, I definitely agree with Sean here. When it comes back down into that 165, that's where we got that aggressive bid initially in the morning. So keeping it simple, that's where buyers were in the morning. We fall into a place where there was some demand, and then we break that downtrend in a place of demand. And then you can see that 165 holds really well for a reversion to VWAP. So yeah, a bit of a miss on my part as well here on AMD. But right now we're at VWAP. Let's see if we can kind of bid back above. But you can see it's doing things that are somewhat different than the market. The market's bidding up aggressively, but this thing is taking its time, kind of consolidating, chopping around VWAP, digesting maybe this news. We also talk about a higher time frame picture on this, where AMD was pushing up into a little bit of a range high since that flush last week on Tuesday. You can see right here, range high 167s, maybe 168s from Friday, and then maybe 166s, 167s as well from yesterday, a little bit of a supply zone. So coming into the day today, we basically attempt to push, can't even get through 170. I was really looking for that 170, but a little bit of a flat action on the day today. Maybe it needs a couple days. Sometimes you got to let it cook and wait on it for a couple days, especially if it's showing you that it's going to hold up. Technically, it has not broken that event or news reference low, so this is still very much in an uptrend with reference to this, but didn't really do too much of what we were looking for right off of the open.
All right, guys, open door next. I'm looking at the short float on this. Is still reporting about 21%. It did open up initially positive, guys, going up into that 5.25. But as you can see, we're selling off aggressively now down into that 440 area. So we're down almost 3%. But the initial move up here was as a result of the current possibly favorable interest rate environment that we're going into with the Fed slated to cut rates at the next FOMC meeting, guys. So Open Door, a perennial name here on the afternoon rundown.
Yeah, I mean, a name with heavy debt, right? I mean, we talked about Open Door many times, and I think it's a good shot that someone took down here. I think it was wasn't Nick Jackson or something like that, that took a shot down here, the same guy that was talking about and did the analyst and the work on Carvana, made a nice play here on Open Door. And I just, you know, the move has happened already. And whenever I see things like this, sure, there's FOMO and there's, you know, you wish you had gotten that. But when we were here, we were talking about this break of $4, and that was a good one. Now you're talking about a break of $5. Now the thing with $5 is we've now seen it 3 times in a row with high wicks. For me, that's a tough sell moving forward now, you know, just because of all of these. Like, there's some definite sell supply up here, or some supply up here where people are interested in dumping their shares. So anytime you get into the $5 mark, it looks like you're fading back out. So I don't think this is a buy until you get some buy zones, and then you're looking for wicks the other way. So unfortunately, that's not until $3. So if you're going to play these as the top, then I think you got to play something like here around the bottom. So I like the model. I don't think that a 1/4 point rate cut is really doing too much to the housing market, for sure. You know, here we have to refinance every 5 years. In the United States, if I had refinanced, who knows when? I mean, I don't know what the average, and I should probably look this up actually, what the average interest rate is, or what the average mortgage looks like in certain parts of the states, especially where Open Door maybe conducts a lot of their business. Then I could have a better opinion on that. But I don't think even half a rate point cut, like half basis points, so 50 points, I don't even think that has a huge effect on the real estate market in the United States. So I think Open Door is a play. I'm a little bit surprised it's down to 20-something%, as Sharif just mentioned. To me, that's not squeezable enough. The card's already been played for squeeze names. We saw them happen already. We saw GameStop, we saw AMC. And there was a name last week that was 40, I can't remember the name, honestly, Obi.
40%?
Yeah, it was 45% short float. I thought Sharif just mentioned the name, but he didn't. I can't remember what it is. People in the chat will remember, and it didn't really go, it didn't really do too much the day that I looked at it. But anyways, I'll get that for a second. But anyways, Open Door. Any thoughts on that? For me, waiting for $3 is the right way.
So we were talking about this last week before it even hit that $5 mark, and I was like, oh boy, a little bit of a short trap, a liquidity trap as well. You can see that high volume push into $5 early, I guess later on in July. That got up to almost $5, $4.97 was the high. And coming into it last week, I was like, oh boy, maybe we're poised poised. It is building up slowly back in towards that $5 mark with increasing volume, and we could very well get a push of that level, but no parabolic action just yet through that $5. But yesterday, Sean, was absolutely wild. This aggressive selling that came in back to back here. Right, where did it begin? About 1 o'clock, just bids getting hit. I was watching this. I was just like, okay, there is no news on this, but definitely maybe some longs offloading, because you got to remember where this thing came from. This thing was sub-dollar just a couple months ago, and now pushing up to $5 again. And guess what? Today, a lot of chop and churn in and around that $5, met as resistance and trading a little bit lower once again. So now we're back below prior day's lows here on Open Doors. So taking a look at the daily chart, you can see, is this a little bit of a slowdown? Maybe, questionable, but here's the thing. There's that anchored from that initial I guess, push here from that pop in July. You can see we attempted to trade a little bit lower, failure to follow through, and then once we reclaim above that anchored VWAP, we started to really accelerate with some volume. So as long as it stays above this, I think this is well within range to continue to step up, especially if the sentiment and the following that's been on this stock for the past few months continues to kind of hold. I don't know what the float on this thing is, but I don't think it's too much. 642 million shares is the float, Sean, but guess what? The average 30-day volume is about 390 million.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like, how many times has that float rotated? I have no idea, but it seems like it's setting up for something for sure. That $5 is going to stay interesting. Let's see what it does going forward. I honestly liked the short today. I just wasn't involved on that failure to follow through of 5 that came in later on in the day. I was just looking for it way too early, and that is what it is sometimes.
We are going to look at Rich Tech Robotics, but we're just going to run through this and we'll talk about Rich Tech making some moves higher here.
All right, NUKK mushroom clouded to the upside over here at $11.50, but it is quickly coming back down. Still positive on the day, though, to the tune of 16.75%, trying to hold this $5.50 level. So Nucleus is the name of the company, and it launched a defense subsidiary and secured exclusive U.S. distribution agreements with Blade Ranger to capitalize, guys, on the booming payload drone market. Not a bad look here, guys.
I think that's when you're always looking for new companies and new spots. You know, these guys here, 7% short flow. We just looked it up. Only 6 million shares outstanding. So they kind of do fit some of the bill here of a name that can do this. You see where it's come from on the daily chart. I mean, it's been a bad little run here for Nucleus and NUKK. Love the symbol there for sure. But you've come from, I don't know if this was, I guess this must have been nothing, all the way up to $50 or $60. And then it's just spit right back down into $4. So I'm going to actually double check this on our e-signal chart, because our charts here don't do the greatest job of reverse splits or anything like that. But yeah, it looks exactly the same. So I don't know if they took over this symbol or what happened back here. We had a low of $1.30, then a high of $78 back at the end of December. So this name did go nuclear, if that's what it was doing right there. But a nice play all the way back in right now, trying to hold this $4 mark up to 7. So it does have the pedigree to do this again. But with only 6% short float, I'm not sure what was going on right there. But it looks like you have a top of $16. Look, you got to take new names. You got to be in different spaces, and this could be a good one. So more work necessary here for NUKK. Looks like it's barcoding. You got to watch out, man. You break this 550, and I'd say it's a short, but who knows from here where we go. So right there, this is looking pretty good. $6 is the 200 period. I think it's a short down below, breaking through $5. So you got to wait for that 550, short for NUKK. If you're holding the bag, I wouldn't want to hold it too much past this level. That's me. Underneath the 50, underneath the 200, looking a hell of a lot lower. This was double this price just 3 hours ago. So again, you play with fire. Sometimes you get burned. Sorry about that for anybody that's trading NUKK. I'm not on it today, but an interesting name nevertheless. Any anchored VWAPs or anything you see?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to say sorry, not sorry, because it definitely nuked both participants on both sides. Like, look at this. Out of nowhere,
we both hit the bang there.
Getting nuked right there. right? And then on the backside, if you're holding any of this, being like, oh, maybe this is the next HKD or something, the longs are getting nuked to the back on the backside right here. A 50% pullback, absolutely beautiful. Now maybe finding some price acceptance or consolidation in and around this $5-6 mark here as of right now. But yeah, crazy move. I think you had to be there to be involved in the front side. I'm usually just sitting here watching something like this run, waiting for, like, especially if someone's getting blown out or shorts are covering or being really aggressive into the ask there, I'm just going to be patient for them to be like, all right, I'm going to wait for these guys to finish blowing up and then get on the backside of the move for price to kind of settle back down. And that's a beautiful example on the day of mean reversion here. You know, VWAP maybe doesn't mean too much, but you can see after we trade back below the average weighted price, oh boy, we kind of accelerate to the downside and then find some base here in and around $5. Still hasn't got back down to reference prices just yet, but a crazy move nonetheless. I totally missed the whole move here on NUKK, but I guess it was a fun ride. Hopefully you guys caught it in the right direction, and if you didn't, I'm sure there were lessons that were learned as well.
Sales down 20% year over year for the weeks of the week, I should say, of August 18th to the 24th in China. 27% drop year over year. Tesla still positive on the day, though. There was also this headline that Musk's XAI looking to sue Apple and OpenAI, seeking billions in damage, basically saying the two are conspiring to keep other AI apps off that top spot in the App Store, Blaze.
I'm actually pretty tired about all this conspiring.
Conspiracy?
Almost said the BS word. I don't want the chat to go crazy here, but no, it's just you know, Elon I think has done great with Grok and has done great with his overtake of Twitter. People will disagree, you know, but I don't know if he brings Twitter back, you know, public again when he launches some sort of a XAI platform again and puts Twitter in there, puts Grok in there. But yeah, this whole back and forth of like, I'm in the App Store, you're not, and all this kind of stuff. And again, the story is much more complicated than that. But it's always been the case, right? I mean, you know, Fortnite challenged, I forget the maker of Fortnite, challenged Epic, is it Epic Games, I think maybe, challenged the fact, do I know that and you don't? That's crazy.
I think Epic took over Fortnite, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's right.
But anyways, they were challenging the fact that, you know, Apple's always taking a percentage on all the downloaded,
I remember that.
you know, things in the App Store. So I just feel that that's always going to be the case. You know, Apple, besides you and Neil, I guess, Brendan just switched over to Apple. But the idea here is even in Android, the store, it's very monopolistic. I mean,
it seems like it's very pay to play.
And the service area of the business, I think is fine. Like, I don't know. I think they deserve to make a little bit of money. They've built this environment up, and so I don't know. This going back and forth here, I think it's just a bunch of billionaires, I guess. I almost said millionaires, and should, you know, got to watch out what I'm saying. I don't want to insult anybody. But as they just keep going back and forth, trying to play who's the boss, and you know, I don't think that he likes. Probably thought that there could have been a deal maybe with Grok and Apple or something, and now it looks like Gemini and Google are going to get into the App Store. So for me, Tesla today, look at the chart. It's very, very choppy. You either got it at the beginning of the day or you didn't. It was either a short up there at 348 or a long somewhere around here at 345. Playing this game back and forth there, it came back in and filled you again down there. You could have taken that long, but you probably would have got stopped out. So now the next play is probably the short around 348, 348.50. So again, love Tesla, love the product, everything about it. It's just, I like trading it when there's direct news about this. Dan Ives upgrading or downgrading, or Cathie Wood, some sort of an opinion there. Numbers out of China are important. This Chinese trade deal, important. Earnings days, important. Things like that. The release of Optimus, when's that going to happen? When are the robo-taxis coming? There's so many sort of issues underlying around Tesla that right now, I think, again, it's kind of a hold, don't trade. You're waiting for those stories to break, and when they do, I think it's a fantastic trade, and I'm just waiting for that day to happen. So, I wait for more news on Tesla and think that we're going to eventually get a huge run. I really like the base that it's forming here around 330.
No, I have to agree with you on that one, Sean. Absolutely beautiful action here, and the way it's holding up is just as beautiful as well. We talk about that price compression and expansion right here, and price has definitely been expanding over the past few days, all the way up to 350. And again, yeah, 350 might be a little bit of an interesting level, but you can see every time it's tried on the day today, 349.13 is the high. Couldn't quite get there. Maybe we get there going into the end of the day. And now I wasn't here for whatever happened here at 11:30 on the stock. Strong quadrunk lick grab of the day's low and the pre-market low, only to kind of bid right back up and do more of the same. Now we're attempting a push towards the highs here as well. Let's see if we kind of push through that that 349 going into the end of the day. Maybe we can jump up another dollar into that 350 and make it a little bit interesting and really start to get going. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Sean. This thing is looking like it really wants to kind of unwind that compression all the way to the upside, and it definitely has that potential. Let's take a quick look at the higher time frame here. I know for those of you who are very familiar with my Tesla chart, there are quite a few indicators, so I'm going to take them off to begin with here. So you can see how it's building up on the weekly. This is a very, very nice consolidation. You can maybe call it even a flat top of that 360, but you can see that we've had higher lows and maybe some lower highs as well, and finally catching a strong bid. But look at the I guess angle of incline of the bid, however you want to see it. It's stepping up higher and higher, a lot more aggressively than it was stepping down as well. So I like that push towards 360. Let's see if that can potentially come in. But that 350 is definitely a little bit tricky over the past couple of days, as it hasn't been able to quite make it up there. But I think we're poised for it. Let's see if that potentially comes in going into the end of the week as well. I know that, again, a lot of people kind of noticing that Tesla has been doing its own thing over the past couple of days. Like, the market was very strong as well, but not as strong as some of these Tesla moves that were happening. And even this morning, while the market was tanking through that 23.5 pretty aggressively, Tesla didn't really budge. We held prior days prices really, really well, and pretty much just kind of orbited around VWAP for the whole day. So relative strength, it's showing us on a much higher time frame. So I really like that about Tesla here.
So
that covers it for the rundown.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. Thanks there, Obi. Thanks all for the questions. And we're going to get over to the names that you guys want to talk about, including right here. And Adara's back. I hope you had a good lunch there, Adara. She never really leaves. She just kind of takes a little bit of a break there as Sharif goes through the rundown. But Rich Tech Robotics, Adara, RR, had a news, right, they had a news story. And it, yeah. Go ahead, yeah, I can't hear you.
Debuting their new robot with NVIDIA at their Washington GTC conference, and that's going to be October 27th to 29th, if I remember correctly, which I'm 90% sure I do. So RR, that was the catalyst on that one. It came out right at the end of the midday, though it was rallying prior as well.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Adara. So yeah, about 150 or so was posted up there on their X account. There's the news story. Adara brought it to you live on the midday show, and that's the thing. Like, make sure you do join us. Hit the like, hit the subscribe as we go over all of these. I have a new. This is like an almond flavored some sort of coffee from Starbucks called Sunsera.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. It's not too bad.
It's,
anyways, Rich Tech Robotics. Before we go, Rich Tech Robotics, of course. What they're trying to do is changing the robotics game, as everybody's trying to change the game. These guys, you know, software as a service, Obi? Yep. So that's where obviously you provide, you know what software service is. You're providing, you know, whatever information, kind of like a Zoom or something like that provides the software, and then you pay a monthly fee for it, like a Spotify, things like that. Well, Rich Tech Robotics is doing that for robots. So that's the play that they're trying to get involved with here. And of course, Rich Tech Robotics, their robots will be able to lift. I was just reading a little bit about it, you know, heavy machinery, things like that. So if you are a smaller business or something like that, and you're maybe unable to afford a couple $100,000 for a fleet or even one robot, I don't even know how much they cost, you can rent it out. So as a service. So again, if you're seeing that, hey, maybe it's costing me, you know, $20,000 in employee costs, whatever, then you can put that towards a robot excuse me, and not have to pay a pension. Now, what do they put in this coffee? Like actual almonds here choking over here? All right, Adira, what you got?
Yeah, right now Donald Trump is actually talking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, but that's not why I bring you guys here. Donald Trump was just asked during this cabinet meeting here about Fed's Cook and the firing, including the fact that apparently her team is trying to fight this. Trump said that they're prepared for a legal fight, but that she seems to have had an infraction. And if she did have an infraction, then she should be punished for that possible infraction. So using not super specific language here is Donald Trump, but yes, said he's prepared here for a legal battle with regards to Fed's Cook, saying that they do need people who are 100% above board, and it doesn't appear that she was. Back to you.
I know Adara and Joe and Sharif went over this story, a little bit of it during the midday show, but Obi, like, honestly, who cares?
Yeah.
Like this is Lisa Cook. I don't even.
There's a lot of drama.
I don't know, but okay.
Yeah.
So this is a trading show. You know, it's not affecting any individual stocks.
And then
I don't think there's anything. No, I just don't think there's a story here other than the fact that government hands are in everything. We already know that. And the fact is, I think it's a good thing that if there was any mortgage fraud or anything like that, that people are held responsible, whether or not it's you, whether or not it's me, whoever it is. And I don't want to cheer for anybody to lose their job. The disappointing thing to me is the lack, and I heard Adara say this as well, the lack of evidence. Like we've just seen a couple of scribbles right now. It seems more like a witch hunt.
Yes, like my thing is, I'm not going to call it a witch hunt or whatever. I'm just going to say I would like more evidence than completely disembodied photos of signatures. And then when Pulte said he had more evidence, that more evidence was just, again, more disembodied photos of things. I don't care if you have to redact some things. I just want some context to suggest, okay, there is something real here. That's all I have. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. No, you didn't cut me off. I mean, I was bringing the fact up that we had talked about it. But I guess she's a member of the Fed. Like, there are issues here, but I thought she was a conservative member anyways, or more... She's not, okay. So, but she's more dovish, right, I think, as a member. Anyways, the idea is to drain the swamp. So I feel like sometimes the swamp is getting less drained.
I cared about the story for about, I would say, 30 minutes because trading last night, the market did kind of drop on the initial drop of that news. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. The market kind of drops in, and then we reverted, so I took that reversion as well. So yeah, I did care about it for a little bit to kind of correct myself. Yep, okay. And then for about 30 minutes, and then I forgot about it. Right.
And then
like, does it make the market move? If not, then on to the next. Right. Usually what I'm kind of focused on, because like you said, at the end of the day, there's a lot of drama going on, and yeah, if you wanna build and get out of positions based off of the drums, then so be it. But that's not a playbook that I really have. It was a move, and then we kind of ate it all up. I think there are bigger things that the market cares about. For example, the Jackson Hole, how we're following through from that. Nvidia earnings, that's coming up this
Jackson Hole was an easy long in my opinion, because we had talked about this over and over again. I was like the only one in the whole chat that was talking about going long. We had questions about it. There was nobody here that was thinking long. And the thing about it is, great earnings season, right? A president that is looking at the stock market. Right, we have a Fed that seems like they're going to comply to some extent. We have the rate cut is imminent, and we're in a cutting cycle. Yep. S&P 500 is a little overvalued. I would think I'll have to look it up again, but I thought the PE of the S&P 500 was 22, which historically has fallen in between the 18 to 19 range. So definitely 10% maybe a little frothy right now, but you got to pay up to enjoy the ride. And I think that part of the stock market is that. So yeah, for me, Jackson Hole was kind of an easy one. There was just a speech to be had, and it looks like you're right, Obi. Who cares about anything other than what the market's doing, especially in what is a bull market? I mean, some stocks are in bear territories, down 20%, and we'll talk about those right here. But back to the market that we were talking about before we went off on this Cook lady. I don't know even what's going on there, as we just talked about. But what about Rich Tech Robotics? You've already been up here before, right? I mean, we were up here in last February, January. So if you sort of went through the whole summer months wondering if this 200 period was going to hold, oh boy, did it ever hold here, as it held amazingly to the point where now you get a good story and you bump up. So I feel like these guys, Rich Tech Robotics, is in the right space now. If they're going to have a deal with Nvidia, which can provide them with these high-powered chips at potentially a lower cost, and they can get these robots out there and then start to rent them. I saw some people in the chat talking about different sushi places that are using robots. We just talked about...
Oh, yeah, they have been. Just the service ones.
Right, so I mean...
Bring your stuff to the table.
Right. And so I'm just thinking like that's rich tech robotics as far as I'm reading right now. I don't want to say they're developing these robots for restaurants, but that's the space. And I just think that a small business, we talk about all of this, right? Like, who can compete with Grok, or who can compete with any of these mega cap names that have these crazy expenditures going out? No one. You can't buy 100,000 GPUs at 40 grand each, right? These other companies can. So how can you compete? How can you be that name that you want? How about RAAS, Robots as a Service? You know, so right there. So forget about SaaS models. What about RAS models right now? And so we'll be doing that right now, and we'll talk about some RAS models coming through. And I think rich tech robotics is that, Obi. So we're excited for that moving forward. But all right, was that a call for Adara?
I think so.
Yeah, I just want to mention here, Donald Trump just spoke here about interest rates and the Fed once again. But here's pretty interesting. We know that if we get Fed's cook out, then Trump would be able to have a majority in the Fed. He acknowledged that, saying that once they have their majority, which he does, of course, intend to have by ousting the Fed, then, by ousting Fed's cook, then they'll be able to get interest rates down and housing will go up. So that seems to be what's happening here. He also talked about Fed's, or I guess, potentially incoming Fed's Moran. We know that this is who Trump intends to replace Adriana Kugler, though he's yet to be confirmed. But he also said that initially they were saying Fed's Moran was just going to be the temporary replacement for Kugler, whose term was going to expire pretty soon. Now he's saying they actually could keep Moran on and switch him out with their Cook replacement, but he's not sure yet. He also said that he has someone in mind for Fed's Cook to be replacing Fed's Cook, but apparently his team is still working on it. So some Fed-related comments here from Trump. Back to you.
All right. Adara's just going to keep updating all of us, obviously, as we talk about Taylor Swift, and so does Donald Trump for some reason. But okay, so just real quick. I don't think AMD's a long, so I'm just going to get out. We tapped out right there, and we were talking about it as we were doing this at 2:30. We have a small piece left. I did want to see if we can come into 165, but I'm actually just going to dump. Oops, I got to cancel. I had an offer out. I got to cancel them all. Get out right here if we're able to do that. Right now, there it is. We're at 11s. We're there on Nasdaq. Fill us up, fill it up. There it is. So we get out of that one, bang. My number one stock there. It's not going to look as a good trade. We had like less than 2% left of this, but we had noticed already that it was underneath. So AMD, nice downside play. We did have some rare earth names moving around today, of course, as Trump warns of more tariffs coming potentially to China and to these rare earth plays. President Trump threatened to steepen these tariffs there today and over the weekend. Made rare earth names like MP try to climb here early, went up to $75, almost taking out its highs in the 80s. And of course, obviously the government's going to instill some more tariffs on China for this exact purpose, because the US government, like Intel, took a stake in MP. So we'll have to wait to see where this story winds up going. Interesting to see it a downside play. I think that Materials Corp here, MP, you're going to have to buy dips on this name, especially in with what's been happening with China and the rare earths. I mean, all of these EVs, all these phones, all these military drones, everything like that needing rare earth. So I like MP here, and there are some other plays, and we'll talk about that when we get back from Obi.
Yes, sir. So guess what? Exciting news for Canadian sophisticated traders. Beta Pro by Global X Canada has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P, TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. If you are a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3x daily to learn more. So check out our friends at Beta Pro. Their market's pushing to the upside. Apple's taking a little bit of a breather here, so I did get involved with a little bit of a feeler here, just 50 pennies off of the highs. We've been bidding up, Sean, for majority of the day. This bid came in after the first 15 minutes of selling. We've only been buying up on Apple, and it's about an hour and 10 minutes going into the close. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Are you going to continue extending to the upside? I have no idea, but I do want to participate if the buyers are starting to show a little bit of diminishing action. Now, still holding trend. They can step right back in whenever. I don't know what's going to happen, but I kind of just want to participate here a little bit as we attempt to pull back in. And KDP, man, that was the one I called it out at $30. Didn't even participate in that one. But KDP, wow, Rich Tech's still going. KDP continuing to sell off. Like, have you seen a cleaner sell off, Sean? Like, day one, clean. It kind of tells you who's in charge. Day two, nobody's looking at this stock. Everyone's trying to trade a Tesla. Everyone's trying to trade a something else. Even I'm trying to trade, like, what was I trading? I was trading AMD. I was trading Microsoft. Now I'm trading Apple. But the easy money trade was here on KDP. It's doing 46 million shares, 47 almost on the day when the average volume is 11 million. It's definitely doing relative volume here. So where's the trade that's really worth my time? And I'm kind of banging my head against the door here, being like, KDP was definitely one of my top 5 ideas, and it does exactly what I'm looking for, which is sustained selling and sellers showing you that they're very, very much still in charge from yesterday. So KDP, that was pointed out, about $30. We're trading at 29 now. Sure, it's only $1, but with the amount of shares being traded and the spread being about roughly 1 penny, it's down over 5% off of the open here. So KDP definitely coming in absolutely nicely here. Microsoft, that's still holding around. I liked that $500 level, but that 520, nice, I was almost going to say 420, but 520 breakdown was absolutely beautiful as well. And this is kind of what I was talking about earlier before we left you for the midday show, was that exhaustion kind of action on Microsoft that happened off of their earnings. That was a bit of a signal, in my opinion. And look at that, strong extension. We'll go straight up to like an hourly chart to really see the magnitude of that pop. You can see here, up on earnings, grinding up all the way. Let's actually measure how long that was for. That ground up for about 91 trading days back to back. And then we got earnings once again, a strong push, but no follow through on that, and a bit of a break of this trend. I'm going to throw on my indicators here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, I guess I don't have that one here. I can just draw it on once again, but you can see just drawing a simple trend line, and the trend line even shows you that, yeah, buyers were very much in charge here, but once we get back below that and start to look a little bit weaker, that 520 consolidation base area that Microsoft had was pretty key. And once we broke that down, look at the aggressive selling that's been coming in back to back, all the way from an earnings reaction high of $561. So yeah, a bit of a pullback here. Sure, we've been selling aggressively, but you got to remember where we came from. Last earnings, we were way, way lower, and the bid has been grinding up pretty aggressively. So the swing short coming in absolutely beautifully here on Microsoft. So shout out to anybody who had that trade, as again, we pointed out multiple times here over the past, I guess, month or so since that earnings happened. So bit of a follow through coming in right here. I did participate a little bit earlier in that 500 push, but didn't really hold on until much later where it traded much lower as well. So let's take a quick look at that one and see where it is relative to my last covers. And oh boy, I covered most of it on top of 499 halves, and we're pushing a little bit lower, 498 halves. But I think the best place to get short on the day today, if we're going to do a little bit of a retrospect analysis here, just kind of looking at where the best places might have been to enter. Coming in the day, I had this 502.44, this low from Friday right here. So Friday, we got that aggressive bid that was showing us some strength. And I'm like, okay, buyers came in off of this low and pushed us up pretty aggressively. So if we come back into this 502.40s, I'm looking for a little bit of more of the same, which is sellers being in charge since earnings. And oh boy, has that come in so beautifully on the day today, trading now below 500. Will we see 475? I got no idea, but it's definitely on its way there, not that far away. And the market just kind of consolidating right now. We talked about that. 23,500 might be a little bit of an interesting level. You can see that it's been acting as support during the open session multiple times now, once and twice through that 23,500. And the ES looking a little bit stronger as it's one of the ones that is making higher highs and higher lows. So I guess the spider is definitely climbing up that spout. Apple, maybe a little bit overextended. That's why I like it here for a potential pullback. VWAP sitting just shy of that 227s, but the market's screaming a little bit higher. So I gotta pack my patience, like Sharif likes to say, but I'm not aggressive with the short just yet, but I do want to get a little bit more aggressive. Softy seems like it just wants to continue to push a little bit lower. And oh my God, that 350 might be coming in on Tesla, Sean, as it inches a little bit higher and higher here. 348 halves just now as we speak. 349.13s is the high a day. So I want to see some volume coming in to give us some strength, or to show us some strength through that high a day, and then a price sustaining above that 349, which will definitely, in my opinion, increase some probabilities for a push towards that 350. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Let me see what you guys are trading. I know you guys are throwing up a lot of stocks in the chat. LMT, okay, so LMT, I think there was news earlier today that the government might be taking another 10% or another stake in something like LMT, and we saw an aggressive bid. It's been doing relative volume pretty much all day, but a muted session if you were kind of looking for a continuation. But if you were looking for buyers on top of VWAP, oh boy, that definitely was there multiple times over and over again. But a bit of a VWAP chop here on LMT, not really blasting off to the upside just yet, it would seem. But it seems interesting. They want to take a stake in Intel. They want to take a stake in LMT. The government's, I guess putting their hands into some companies here. No voting rights apparently. I don't know if that's going to be true for LMT, but Intel for sure. They're not really holding anything. But I think it's healthy. It's
more
Intel.
like a bailout, that Intel one, man. I don't know if LMT needs necessarily all that, but. Yeah, interesting times that we're seeing right now. As you know, GM didn't work out great as far as a bailout, but other things have worked out for them. So we'll see if we can get some love back in for LMT. I mean, again, wartime kind of talk there. But yeah, U.S. government doing the best they can, or what they think they should be doing anyways. So shout out to everybody looking at that. All right, so yeah, look, I was going to talk about a little bit about Robinhood. Robinhood just went for a little bit of a move here, upside on Hood up into 108.50. I'm still looking at this area, as you just talked about, some key levels as well. I'm looking at some key levels possibly here on Robinhood into this 109 area. So watch out for possible fades if we can get up to there. You just mentioned 350 for Tesla. I think that's going to be a good trade that we should probably go over and have a quick check on in a couple seconds. But there it is right here for Robinhood. Nice level and a nice little move here as the market looks to break through. And I was thinking to myself too, I don't like shorting, and we talked about this on Friday or on Thursday when I was here. I don't like sitting around in markets that are pretty dead and being short. Like, I just think you can grind higher into the close. Like, I don't really, today we have Oklo Box and MongoDB coming tonight, so I'm not super, thinking that that's big market move at all. But the market has grinded a little bit here, so I'm thinking about a fade if we were going to go short to get out right around this 23.50, but I'm still looking for downside to see about getting long. Like, I'd rather be long into a dead market as we go sleepy here into the afternoon. But that's Robinhood's going higher. Could be a short. I'd rather wait for that short to come through for Robinhood. If we're going to do anything, it would be the market right now, up 0.22. Trying to get going. I think a bid on the break of the high of the day, there should be something there if we can get that. But, Amazon maybe. I like Google for some strength. here this afternoon. Have we seen Google sort of make some big moves recently? So there it is. That's still Robinhood chart. Amazon, again, looking to take out that 228.50 mark. So that's not far away. I actually like that bit a little bit better, as that was the dropping off point there on Friday night. So right into there, 228.50, a decent possibility there as well. So yeah, I mean, there's some good trades that are lining up. We just got to go find them. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on ROIV. Roivant Sciences popping a little bit. An individual by the name of Ray Blanco flagged this as a long idea, saying that I guess this could be potentially the next blockbuster catalyst at any time, could drop for ROIV. So I guess, again, Ray Blanco saying that ROIV could benefit at any moment from a big catalyst. Liking the stock here. Keep an eye on it. Back to you.
I mean, if it was Benny Blanco, maybe I would be looking at that. But I don't even know who Ray Blanco is, but it's sad that I know who Benny Blanco. All right, so that was Amazon right there. It's power hour. I don't know if the market's going to power up or not right now, but we got out of our last trade was AMD, and it's really done nothing sitting here right now. So I don't want to think that this is going to be, the next name to pop or anything like that right now, as the market is near the highs. We can check out the VIX and see exactly what's going on there. Gold today is another little bit of a look. We'll have a quick stop. 311.75. Those of us that are looking at Bitcoin, I mean, it's trying to make a move as well. 110.6, but there goes gold up another 0.61% and really starting to perform quite well in and around these holding spots of $300. Now I have to look to see what that is as far as a ounce goes, but right there, not a bad spot for gold. Looks like they're trying to hold out some of these levels. So GLD holding out today. OIH, the oil sector, we can go have a quick look at what these holders are doing today. Down 1% over here. The XLE, another energy spot, looking, I think energy was down today. Yeah, so down 0.54. So energy taking it a little bit here. We haven't got any updates on Ukraine or Russia or anything, so I'm not sure what's up with this story right now, but that's what I'm looking at. Some of these names. Roblox has had a nice move higher. Again, I know they've got some stuff they have to settle out right there with some of the protections that they have in place. But right now, Roblox was up a lot more, up to 127. That's looking like it wants to possibly break higher as well. So just some stories there. I don't know. Only an hour left. I'm going to go back over. I'm going to throw it over to you. I'm going to find out what names these guys are looking for here, as I know that you've got some interesting things on your mind.
Yeah, no, I have no idea what's going on in those other parts of the world right now, but the market is just holding the range, and just coming into a little bit of a sell here is Apple. So we are starting to look like we are breaking that bit of a trend here. I'm just going to define this trend off of that VWAP right here. Maybe just find some lows to get off of. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. So nothing too crazy, just an arbitrary bit of a trend. I'm using a line to define that trend here. Market's testing the top of the range. So if we fail the top of the range, like we have once and twice before here on the Nasdaq, the first time was around 1045, the second time around 1215, 1230-ish. We catch some selling back into that 23,500. Let's see if that'll come in. But guess what? Apple never really cared, even when those sells came in earlier. So what's to say it's going to care coming into the close? Oh boy, another push into that 349 here on Tesla, pulling back pretty decently all the way back down. VWAP's in at 346.5, so that's still a while away. Apple, I want to see it break the trend. If it doesn't, that's perfectly fine as well. More than willing to kind of get out of the way here if it wants to continue to bid up. That 230, it might be a little bit interesting if we come and clip it into the close, but I'm going to stay patient. Let me know in the chat what you guys are trading, what you guys are looking at as well. We'll be right back from Madeira.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know here, we already have released the earnings calendar for tomorrow, so you guys can get a sense of what's reporting when. You can check this out on X at TTV Research. Nvidia, of course, coming at 420, but that's not the only big ticket name we have after the bell. CrowdStrike, Snowflake in the cybersecurity space, both reporting tomorrow night. We've got HPQ, Five Below, NetApp, and then tomorrow before the bell, we have a bit of a who's who of retailers with Kohl's, Abercrombie & Fitch, and Williams-Sonoma all reporting. Williams-Sonoma also on watch with that furniture tariff threat. So you can look at this on X at TTV Research. I also want to let you guys know that we do have some comments coming from the Fed, a spokesperson here, so the spokesperson for the Federal Reserve, saying that the Congress, through the Federal Reserve Act, directs that governors serve in long fixed terms and can only be removed by the president for cause, saying that long tenures and removal protections for governors actually serve as a vital safeguard, making sure that monetary policy decisions are based on data, economic analysis, and the interests of the American people. Though at the end of the statement, they do say that they will respect any court decision, and they also acknowledge that Lisa Cook, who is, of course, the Fed governor that Trump is trying to remove, has indicated that she's going to be challenging this this action through court. Goldman Sachs here also issuing a preview for the Apple event. They've reiterated a buy and a $266 price target for AAPL. In case you guys missed it earlier today, Apple confirmed that their event for the new phone will be taking place on September 9th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific.
All right, so yeah, we know that. I mean, every September, Apple, of course, has those events. They'll release their new phone. It's nice to see an upgrade. I recently bought some of that at $212. I think Apple has a good runway northbound. I mean, all they have to do is talk about AI, and the stock's going to absolutely rip up.
Yeah.
So
they have to talk about AI in a meaningful, different way, I would say.
Well, yeah, I mean, so do they all, right? I mean, AI is not, it's not like, right now, you can use AI the same way on your Apple phone that you can on your Pixel phone, right? I mean, it's just like, it's all about downloading the OpenAI's app or whatever. It's about working it in my opinion anyways, into the, like you said there, the ecosystem.
Yeah.
You know, like can it find out my calendar and then automatically schedule appointments or notes or things like that, where right now, although you're gonna have to download and different attachments, and I think Joe downloaded, I think he was talking about, I don't know if it was the ChatGPT, the OpenAI app and all that, but that's the #1 downloaded thing in the App Store.
So have you seen this buzz about Comet? This new browser called Comet?
No,
browser.
Okay, you're right.
First it was like invite only, but now they've opened it up.
Okay.
And it's absolutely beautiful.
Is it?
Nice. It can do things for you in your multiple tabs. So for example, Wayne was showing me this in the back, where you can kind of open up your junk email.
How do you get the invite?
No, you can just download it now.
Oh, okay.
You go to Perplexity.
Okay, maybe I'll do this, yeah.
So you can open up your email. You have to give it permission to kind of do stuff
Read your email.
with the thing, and you can be like, unsubscribe to all the junk email. And you can see it doing all of that. Looking through, and then kind of it figures out which ones are your junk mail, and then kind of starts to unsubscribe from them.
A little scary.
It's a grueling task. It's just like, you don't want to sit there. Maybe you have thousands of emails where you're just like, I got to go through each one of these and unsubscribe, and you're just used to kind of deleting them as well.
Yeah,
just tasks like that.
And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Even for like trading, you know what I did? I was like, I opened up my Notion, and it has all my journals in there, and then I have a Google PowerPoint as well. And I was like, go through my journals, and I grade different trades. I'm like, find all the trades that I've graded 7 out of 10 or more, and then put them in the PowerPoint. That's just copy and pasting.
You use that with Comet, or you could?
With Comet.
Oh, okay.
So that would take me maybe like a few hours to kind of do, and it starts doing it by itself, and I can just leave it on, and sure, I have to check its work and do all of that as well, but it's almost game-changing in terms of the level of efficiency that it's bringing in. And this is just the beginning. This is what I was saying. This is just the beginning of using these technologies in an effective,
and you feel pretty comfortable giving it permission to search through your whole email.
I felt a little weird at first, but then I'm like, okay, I know just like how people initially felt a little bit awkward to put payments on their phones, right? It was just like, oh, anybody can tap.
Right. What if someone accesses my phone?
What if someone accesses your phone? But now look how common it is. I think it's just getting comfortable with letting technology take a little bit of the wheel and take a lot of the mundane and just tasks that are grueling out of our hands. I think it's really good for that.
Good talk there, Obi. Okay, so here we go, man. Yeah, we're in the building one more time here. Of course, as we just got a new position alert, it's short the TQs. The fact that we got that tall wick there with this volume profile, look, man, I mean, we can't possibly predict the future. But we could try. And I mean, right into here, this level tells me, at least, that potentially we might have got exhausted there. Someone came in with this big sell candle trying to push this down. So let's see if this area gets defended to the sell side again one more time, if that comes through. Obviously, we dumped our AMD, and we're trying to go short now the market. So we're short at 18s. We just covered some now at 8s. And I do have another bid at 5s. We'll see if that can hit. now. There it is. So we get those 5s, and now we're starting to pull down a little bit here as we wait for a potential, just a little bit of a heat map right there, giving us that score of a high volume candle, helping us short. And remember when it was up, not really. Remember when it was up here, Andre, give me a second. When it was up here last time, we didn't want to short it. Remember we were talking about I don't want to short a dull market, but then we got that top wick there, which gave me an area to say, okay, if I'm wrong, we can go short here at 20 and get out at 35. I mean, I really thought that that was something that was pretty comfortable for me. So now that we found that, we'll go with it as well. And we do want to make sure that everybody does scan that QR code because Woman Boss has empowered, and women will change the world. So they have empowered women change in this world, and you can help make it happen. The Woman Boss trains and mentors women and girls across Africa to lead, innovate, and thrive. Since 2018, we've reached over 10,000 women and girls, and your donation today can launch the next great entrepreneur. Scan the QR code on your screen now and join us in building a brighter future, guys. Like $5, $10. Donate to Women Boss instead of giving us those super chats, okay? Just do that, and we'll move forward with that. So thank you, Women Boss, there as well. But all right, so that's the TQs. That's why I'm short that name. And if we do break higher, we're going to get out. We are waiting for some more shares at 90.30, and then we'll give it 10 cents to the upside. Hopefully that does break in our favor and we can go the other way. We keep talking about rates, but what exactly are we talking about if you're joining us for the first time? In September 17th, we are looking for the next Fed rate cut, and right now it's 87% chance that that does happen. So right now, our current rate is 4.25 to 4.50. It's been that way, I shouldn't say for years, because that's not true, but at least this calendar year there. And now we will wait for the next, actually maybe Derek can find out when that last rate move actually happened, but 87 point, yeah.
I know off the top of my head, December 18th, 2024, I was wearing red. The market dropped like 4%,
Perfect.
Not because of the cut, but because Powell indicated they'd be cutting less the next year, and I'll stop now.
Perfect. No, that's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to hear about. And that was that, I was going to say a year, so there it is, pretty close, last December. So now we'll wait. We'll get another cut right here. And then we'll get into cut cycle, right? Because that's September, and then October, you have, again, looking at 50% for another quarter point. That'll put us to 375.4 overnight lending rate. These are not the rates you're going to get at your bank. These are the overnight lending rates, so banks got to make money. And then you have 36% chance that we do get 3/4 of a 1% cut by the time December the 10th rolls around. As Adara said, that would be mark 1 year there in December since they started. So we'll wait to see if and when that comes true, and I think it will. I think we'll get a cut every quarter until the new year, and then we see what the economy is at that point, and we get one more look at that point on. And then Fed Chair Powell, apparently, he can get renewed. Get contract extension.
Really?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Trump hired him.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I forgot that for a second.
Yeah, exactly. And
it was like, who appointed this guy?
Yeah.
It was him.
Apparently, he wants to get rid of him now. Yeah. So we'll see. You can see, though, policy changes like the weather outside. And I don't know if Mark saw, but it was pouring rain outside. My wife has messaged me over the last couple minutes because, yesterday on my day off, I'm out there landscaping.
Nice.
Day off, Obi.
Nice.
Landscaping. I like to do that, though. It's kind of fun. I actually talked about that last show. Was picking weeds in the back. We had some overgrowth there on our walkway heading up. Okay. So I was chopping some. Thing is that I had to be careful chopping bushes. Really? Because because my wife is very big into the natural. So she plants things that basically are, I used this word last week and I screwed it up. They're natural habitat to Ontario. Okay. So basically different plants and things like that. And so sometimes I'll look at them and I think they're a weed. So I will pull them native. That's it. Thank you so much. Oh my God, if Marissa's watching, I'm going to be in so much trouble. Native garden. Okay. So, not going out and planting things that will die and not grow back and everything like that. So, I've been in many a trouble ripping out and cutting like plants and things that have grown for many years.
Yeah.
And so I had to be very careful. So I knew what to do yesterday. So chopping it up. And then you know how you have those compost bags?
Right.
So you put everything either in a big bushel and then they throw it away when they pick up our recycling or our garbage. Well, I thought we had a whole bunch of those and we don't have any of them. So throughout the whole summer, I've used up all the bags. Right. So we didn't have any. So now I got piles of grass clippings, weeds, native plants that have been misplaced. They're all just hanging around. And so I have to put those into these recycling, and if it's pouring rain, these compost bags, then maybe that job.
Because they're made out of paper. The compost bags are made out of paper.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that I didn't do that yet.
Yeah.
But now I have wet bushels of landscaped trimmings that are lying all around my property.
Yeah, no. That's always a rough one. I've definitely ran the lawnmower over
your foot.
Well, not my foot, but
good.
over some plants that I definitely was not supposed.
Yeah,
to.
I get in trouble for that a little bit.
Earful for that. I'm just like, hey, listen. Just sometimes it's just I'm just listening to my music, just mowing the lawn. I'm just like, okay, I just have to compartmentalize the lawn into this, and I just have to get it done and go back to doing whatever I was doing.
I just tell her the way it is, man. I'm just like,
oops.
Looked like a weed to me, so I pulled it out. Like, what are you gonna do about it? You know, at the end of the day, we try.
That's tough with native plants as well.
Thing is,
you're like, oh, this is just growing over.
Right. Like you just like you're walking in the park and you see all. Yeah. So, thing is, she's big into the butterflies and all the monarchs and the bees and those cup plants and all that stuff. Anyways, okay. Trader TV Live Kush. Yeah, get ready for that being dropped very, very soon. I don't know if I would tear those down if I'd seen those growing. Although, don't tell anybody, but my neighbor, I think, is growing some plants in his backyard, which I don't know why I'm talking like this. It's completely legal.
You're allowed to grow
here in Ontario. And I don't know how many plants you can grow, but they can only be a certain height. I know that much.
Yeah, like 7 feet or something like that. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah, you don't know exactly, right? Okay, so we'll wait to see what that is, and that's why I like things like Scott's Miracle Grow, SMG. I thought that they had a good runway during sort of that hyped up, weed trade. That was a long time ago. I haven't looked at this name in quite a while. Scott's Miracle Grow, as I think that was a lot of the case there. I think the state of New York also has a very similar restriction there, where you can. I think here on your person, you could hold about an ounce or so, but you can only have a certain amount of plants and all that kind of stuff. So Scott's Miracle Grow definitely had its
I don't know too much about any of this.
heydays. No, nor do I. Had its heyday back in 2016, 17, I guess, when some of those weed names were really going hard there. But yeah, Scott's Miracle Grow not doing too much now. And we talk about that, and we do a little bit of this too, because we got puff passed today by Weed Batman himself. How come this always happens to me? Like we'd literally get out at the end, at the bottoms. And again, I don't. You know what? Like for me to get out once this breaks 40 and it's at 44 right now, sure I would have made money on this trade, but at the end of the day, Tilray didn't do anything. We wound up averaging into it and wound up losing on this trade, but it's not a day breaker or money destroyer or anything like that, but we did wind up punching out at the bottom there once this finally broke. I mean, once we got this level of 140 and it was breaking, I was just like, I'm going to get out of it. I wish this name were to do something, but this is what I thought was potentially going to happen. So my break wasn't 140, it was this little wick right there again, 138 break. I wanted to get out thinking it was going to go lower. So today might not be the day for Tilray, but eventually it will be. And I still like the stock. I want to look at it every morning. I guess we just need to wait until it does more volume. But 127 million seems like a lot, Obi. So maybe we're just wrong on that one.
Yeah, no, those names have definitely been doing a lot of volume. I actually looked it up because I was like, I don't remember there being a height restriction. Apparently, initially there was one for 1 meter, but then in 2017 it got removed. So there's no. There's only a limit.
1 meter.
I asked.
1 meter is what? 3 feet?
Yeah, it was like the original federal legalization bill proposed a 1 meter height limit for homegrown plants, but this restriction was removed in 2017 after criticism that it was impractical to enforce. Yeah, of course. How are you going to control how tall a plant grows? Come on.
Pretty sure you can control it.
But without it being healthy is what I'm saying. Healthy growth, right? But there is a limit to having 4, a maximum of 4.
Off that weed.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting.
So that was a look there. 349 still coming in on Tesla. So still a little bit of a struggle here. Apple kind of traded right back above that 228. So that's coming in. Probably going to be wrong about this one, so I'm going to be a little patient there. The high is at 228.5, so I'm watching that as well. Tesla just creeping up at the same time. Amazon not really doing too much. Spider just stair-stepping, slowly, steadily stair-stepping to the upside here. And the range high is still holding here on the Qs. So I still like that TQ short you have going on. This
Do you?
not, yeah, I mean, the Nasdaq is looking distinctly different from that of the SPY, I think. You just got to wait, I think a little bit
My
longer.
problem is the
It's about
sleepy.
320.
Yeah,
right?
my problem is the sleepy market, and I don't. I really don't. It's not just me saying that. Like, I don't like shorting into a market that just kind of looks like it wants to climb higher.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a daily chart, so I don't even, I actually called up the wrong one right there. But here's a TQs right here. It's trying to get through this level. We've held this $90 mark a little bit there. We just pulled back in. We just bounced off 90.01. It was a good thing we did get some of those bids down here. We did get a 90.0. I can check it out. It's my last fill. 90.05 there, so at least we got that fill. But yeah, I don't know. Just would have liked it to break through the 200 period moving average right there, and that's, I mean, we're always going to sit and make sure that we get something out, but yeah, not a great look for me right there. Well, it's fine. We're in the money, but barely on the TQQs. All right, let's have a look at our visualizer here to see what stocks are popping and what stocks are dropping. Okay, so here we go, man. It's Nvidia. It looks like we got rich tech robotics, so a little bit of rich tech action going on right there as we've talked about that name a little bit. Well, we can go back over and have a quick look. You'd actually just mentioned randomly Tesla there, getting 24 subs. So if we're just going to look at what's been happening there, Rocket Labs up 3.5% today. Tempest AI down 1.5%. Oklo up 4%. Earnings tonight. We can have a look at that chart in a minute. Palantir up 2%. Open door right now. The door's open for that trade for sure. Lots of opportunity there. Now only up less than 1% today. Rich tech continues to climb upside there. All right, now the future is starting to go. Nvidia, MongoDB tonight. Tesla, there's open door on this side now. SoFi, we did get the recommendation from Mitch this morning, sorry, his name, I lost it right there. He was saying SoFi is the next Palantir. Puff, puff, pass on that one as well. But there it is right there. $26 right now, down 1%. So if you do like that possibility, SoFi might be a play there. Amazon flat on the day. There's Rocket Labs. And Tilray, although we slap an L on that for myself, it is still up that 4%. All right, so here goes. We just talked about shorting it. That short, and you're like, you kind of liked the short. Well, here we are. We're at the high of the day.
As soon as I said that.
I know. I shouldn't have even asked you, but there it goes, man. Yeah, and all joking aside, you know, we just make trades, like I said. We were using that profile right there as that spiked up volume that maybe we wouldn't get back to here. So we'll take that exact top short now. We just got 37s. We are already using 40 as the top. So right now we're short 28. It definitely take an 11-cent hit if it does, or sorry, bad math, 13-cent hit if we break through $90.40. I'm here to take that hit. I don't want to do it, but if it happens, it happens. So that's what we're, well, just happened. So right there, fail through. We'll give back a little bit of profit there on the TQs, but actually that's from there. The only profit we had was that. And there it goes, man. I think so. The rhetoric remains the same. We shorted a market that looked pretty hot, and there it goes upside. And I think that was all off of that, bouncing off of the 200 period moving average on the daily. So we should have maybe learned from that move, but either way.
There's 350.
Oh, shoot, Tesla 350. Okay, what do you like there?
2,000 lots through that 350. But the market's coming in pretty aggressively as well. So let me pull up the book for you guys here and see how close we are to 350 and how that's looking. We kind of came in and knocked on it.
Just wicked,
the high print, the high print is 350 flat on the day and pulling back about 50 pennies right off of that. So the initial test of it getting a little bit of resistance here. So yeah, like I said, this has been a level maybe being anticipated by multiple participants for a little bit here, as it is just a bit of a stop on the way even higher. 366 is that consolidation kind of a flag high, whatever you want to call it. where price has been compressing a little bit on Tesla. So we did get that clip of that 350 and then the insta sell off of there here. So market very, very strong off of that 23.5. We talked about that range high there. So yeah, that range high finally getting broken through with some aggression going into almost the last half hour of the day. So we're seeing some strength coming in across the board here. Amazon almost at its highs. Tesla has broken its highs. Nvidia, unfortunately, not really doing too much. And Apple, which was already strong, getting pushed up a little bit higher.
I think Adair just had like a mini heart attack, so I don't know if there was news that just happened over there.
I heard some of that.
So we'll see if we're going to be coming up with... Okay, we're not. We're good. We're good. We're good. She survived, whatever that was, over there. So yeah, we're good. We're good. All right. So yeah, good little pullback there in Tesla as we look to get a little higher upside right now on that play. So again, congratulations everybody in that name as we've really started to go off here to the upside. So good looks over there on TSLA for now. Meta, nice move. Again, the market's going now. So I don't know. This is kind of as expected there. We said that it looked like a pretty strong market today. It looks like it is trying to hold out on those levels. So we'll wait to see if and when this market eventually does slow down. XOM, Broadcom, just seeing if anything else is trying to hit right now. XYZ here, I'm just seeing Block. Was that moving around $79 here? No, not really. Yeah, just taking out the day's high. So coming up to some screeners again there for Block. So we could have a quick little look to see what's going on there again. I'm just trying to set some stuff up here. Like, I don't really know what we're looking to trade. I mean, Palantir, we could talk about some news stories. I mean, I think there's been some good stories today for sure. But we've already talked about Fed governor and where I think that story is going, and I don't really to care too much about that. Palantir on the breakout though, fake out up to 161.50. We sort of touched up to there again. That looks like a good short off of 161 again. So maybe if Palantir wants to come to those levels, we can have a little discussion. But for right now, Palantir pulled back in one more time there, down or up still 2%, but looking to come back through is PLTR. So we get stopped out, man, on our futures trade, but that's now in the money.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. This is when I really start to not trade well, is when like I'm sitting here thinking like I just got taken out and the short is still good. And then it runs you over again because now you've doubled the loss when maybe you need not look back over there. Nvidia earnings tomorrow.
Yeah.
$2 away from all-time highs again. Oh man, I don't know. I want to put on a trade here, but
I'm looking. That 350 is
maybe that Rich Tech.
Rich Tech is holding up really well as well. So that structure is pushing up. Here's that 350 again, Sean. So let's keep eyes on that Tesla. I think I do want to participate, but I want to see a distinct push through. Like I said, I think it's going to be a little bit crowded. We were already seeing that sense of it being slightly crowded as of right now. As we pulled back almost $1 or 50 pennies instantly, and then pulled back to 349s. Off of the push, and then now maybe kind of chopping around and consolidating a little bit higher here. 349.5s trading.
Maybe Adair can help me here. Why is Tesla doing this today? Like, was there a news story here? I didn't really. Actually, we don't. We don't need to go to Adair. I don't actually think they're.
Not that I've seen.
Right,
Tesla
yeah.
just kind of does Tesla things.
Yeah, okay. That's why when I said, like, let's go to Adair, I actually looked at the chart and was like, that's not that big of a move. And I thought maybe we were up percentage points, but we're actually not really up anything. Well, I mean, 1% is still nice. I am going to take a 350 break on Tesla. I mean, the last time it just faked it, went down $1. I think that's pretty comfortable. I mean, I put the amount of risk in here that I think is affordable now for this Tesla trade. So we'll take a look to see if it does break through 350. I think we got some decent support from the market, so that should be able to help us out. You know, a stock like a Rivian that we've looked at, that's starting to inch a little bit higher. We did get that 1 for 10 news on Lucid, so that'll be happening pretty soon as well. So that's been pretty ugly. That's up 2.5% right now. The chart of Lucid never looks really that great when you're looking at a minute chart, but you know, maybe the bottom's in there. But a 1 for 20 stock split, I don't like that story one bit either. So I am going to take a small, maybe half a unit take here on a 350 break to see if Tesla, maybe we can get a 352, 353 or so trade here to end of the day, as we haven't been up here in a long time, man. We're just coming from all the way back here. This was 320 back last week, so hopefully we can get through 350 and we'll go from there. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know, Donald Trump just concluded his cabinet meeting. The cabinet meeting is now done. Nothing was really said other than what I mentioned with regards to the Fed. I think that was probably the most significant comment. Again, also the idea of investing in other companies beyond Intel was brought up, but Trump didn't really indicate what companies those would be. He only said that the idea that they bought a stake in Intel is false. Like they have a stake, but he's claiming that the way the deal was done was not, quote unquote, purchasing a stake. Keep an eye here on these earnings names after the bell: Okta, MongoDB, and Box. Here are the expected moves. The smallest expected move is just under 10%. So these should be some heavy hitters. Of course, not as big as tomorrow with Nvidia, but certainly something to watch. Join Sean, myself, and Brian Shannon on the Market Recap Show right at 4 p.m. Eastern. Back to you.
We're always excited to have Brian with us. He liked APP. We'll talk to him about that. We'll talk to him about the recent move up. Wow, there goes crypto. Damn, shorty. Did not get an opportunity to buy. Oh, man, I meant to do that this afternoon and before we came back on air, and I did not. Darn it. All right, there goes IBIT. You know what? I mean, if we like crypto for the long haul, it's not really going to matter if I got in at 111 or 109, but I would have preferred 109 right there. Nice move upside as right here, Bitcoin taking out the highs of the day. So celebratory times for crypto traders, looking pretty good here. That's for sure for the long. ETHA also, Obi, looking profitable into the afternoon again. So a nice move higher for Ethereum as that's at its highs as well. Touching out near that $5,000 mark and all-time highs over the weekend there for Ethereum. You want to talk about a stock, or you?
No, I'm kind of watching this Tesla tape, man. This is getting really aggressive into that 350. It's 330 right now, so we are coming into that last half hour of the trading day, and we're knocking on the door at the highs here at that 350. So I got in a little bit early there, but just looking at some of the action here, looking for that follow through. If that doesn't come in, that's perfectly fine as well. I do want to take a little bit more through the 350 if we sustain, but again, if it's not going to happen, then it won't happen. Just kind of continuing to watch this. Apple is holding its highs. The market is, in terms of the Nasdaq and the ES, both holding their highs pretty well going into the last half hour here. So strong trends all around. A little bit of a consolidation here on Tesla pretty much all day, and then finally breaking for a little bit of a push going into the end of the day. But things are getting a little bit choppy here as the wipes both ways are about 20 to 30 pennies each time, Sean. So got to be a little bit careful with this one, especially if you're looking at it in anticipation for that 350 push. I like that. I like the breakout of some of the structure that was happening earlier. That was at 347s, 348s, 349s as well. But let's see if we finally can get that continuation through that 350 that everyone's been looking for here on Tesla. Only about 20 pennies away, and these rushes into the book, I'm seeing bright greens, and we talked about the different colors. There's a little jump on the ES as well, the Nasdaq as well. Maybe that's the umph that we need to finally take us through that 350. But this is surely churning a lot of volume in and around just underneath this 350. Only about 20.
I feel like it's going to fake it.
Yeah, maybe, but the initial push was a fake, right? The initial push already kind of, if you were aggressive on that first test, that kind of pulled back pretty aggressively. But now we're starting to step in a little bit, so I like it a little bit better. But yeah, no, sure, it's not the best, I would say, and my average is not necessarily the best either. But what I'm looking for is more of the trade through that 350 finally, and a bit of an unwind, right? We talk about the bigger picture setting up on this, and this happening on, I guess, one of the rebalance days is very, very interesting to me as well. Apple continues to push fresh highs. That thing is so extended, dude.
Yeah, and you were mentioning that today, MSCI, so we'll see some rebalancing. Maybe we'll get a bigger note on the indicator with the imbalance locator that we'll show to you guys at 350 once that does populate, and it's an MSCI. So it's not S&P. We wait for S&P at the end of the month, of course, that will come through. And here's what it looks September. So here's what it looks like right now. As you can see, there are some bigger numbers on here as far as imbalances go. 6 million for CAG, of course, coming through. The recent, I thought there was a recent, this is ConAgra, a buyout potential rumors on ConAgra, but CNQ downside, HIMS looks like it's going to have a nice little bid to it there into the close. And this is some of the pressures that we see on some of these names right now. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. Snapchat, I mean, maybe we could talk about Snapchat and their augmented reality glasses right now. I mean, what is going to push this stock? I mean, that's sort of the thing that all investors are looking for right now with Snapchat. Not a good quarter. I think it was Adair and I reported that right there. Okay, we do have breaking news right now with Adara, so let's get that and see what's going on.
UNH dropping pretty aggressively here. I'm just seeing this headline. Apparently, their ongoing criminal probe is broader than just the Medicare issues. If I see anything else on this, I'll let you guys know. But I'm just seeing this headline. Apparently, their ongoing criminal probe, which we know has been going on since at least earlier this year, is broader than just Medicare. So if I have anything else on this, I'll let you guys know. UNH actually strong on the day initially, dropping about $13 here. Back to you.
Oh boy, that's a pretty aggressive sell there. Quadunking, a little bit more selling coming in, I guess.
Yeah, no,
so much selling.
I was going to say, normally I'm all over some of these, headlines, and you want to sort of join the party, because I know that when we get it from Adara or, Obi or myself, Neil, and any of the hosts, hear something in our ear, generally we're pretty early on the story. So let's just wait to see where this goes. But again, this just shows you algorithmic trading and stuff like that. Like the minute anything criminal, like criminal probe into any company there, you're going to miss that first move, right? I mean, the volume spike we just hit there, 1.3 million. So we just hit about 25% of the shares in 1 minute right there on the day. So, I mean, how does that volume all of a sudden come through? Well, it's through right now, and so we're going to wait to see now. Breaking down through $300 goes UNH. Very dangerous name. It got bought up there. I feel like there was a lot of love for it. We saw Scion Capital with Michael Burry. We saw Berkshire take a 3 or 5 million share stake. Again, big position for the common person, but for Berkshire, I think we could have got more of a take there if you really like that name. But right there, 320 again seems to have been that wall that we just sort of absorbed from there and did not break through there, Obi. So we'll wait to see where what ends up happening with UNH as that fall in a criminal probe. I thought a little too early to get involved on that downside, so we'll find out what's going on more with this, potentially even now from Adara. I don't know.
Sorry, this is not UNH related. It's related to Kohl's KSS. They're reporting tomorrow morning, and Bloomberg reporting ahead of their earnings that the company is seeking more time to pay their vendors amidst ongoing turnaround efforts. So Kohl's dropping again. Bloomberg reporting that they were looking for some more time to pay vendors as they make some attempts to turn around as a business. Again, KSS earnings you can catch tomorrow morning. Back to you.
Okay.
All right. So
yeah, a few things taking a serious drop into the close.
Hey, I mean, I know someone that can lend you some money. The U.S. government could step in there. Hey, Donald Trump, you hungry or not? Because is that what Kohl's is? Is a grocery store? There it is. That nice downside play there. We don't have Kohl's here, but there it goes. Nicely done to the downside. Kohl's is really coming in right now. KSS, watch out there. Derek just mentioned there's also earnings tomorrow. So you're sort of riding the double barrel here where they just got negative news, plus earnings, plus now down into SSR. So you're not going to be able just to, that's why this is piling up. You see, like, there it goes. Once it's gone, it's gone. There it comes back. So these short sellers are definitely in here on KSS. I talked a lot here. Is it back to Adara? No, okay. So what's up, Obi? Anything on your mind here? We only have now 20 minutes until the end of the day.
Yeah, so I think we got a little bit of business to get done. So traders, listen up. First month, it's free. That's right. We're waiving fees. So trade smarter and not harder. Upgrade to Elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable, real-time data, global markets at your fingertips. All in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now, guys. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description. So check out eSignal. We were just talking about this. You've been using eSignal for quite quite a while.
Yeah, 26 years.
I saw that picture of you on the old trading floor having those e-signal.
Yeah, pretty much the same charts.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There, yeah. Look, I think that once you do find a platform that you trust and that the charting is there, and I don't try to do anything too fancy with it, but okay, here we go. Forget about that. So KSS still going down. I'm actually going to cancel my Tesla trade. I don't mind it, but I just don't know if it's going to be there today. I know you're already long the name, and I think you got a decent price there. It just keeps on bouncing off at 350. Look, I mean, the trade is there if you like it. I don't hate it at all. It's just with only now 10 minutes to go before the imbalances, I do worry a little bit about what's happening with TSLA. And of course, probe is fine if you've asked for it, not fine if you haven't. And right there, not a great one for UNH as the criminal probe now in there. Alien probes also not good apparently, but you do have to watch out now for UNH because for me, I like Oscar. We've talked about OSCR. This has been an absolute for me on Oscar. I mean, we're long at 13 and change, so we're up already $3 or so on this name as we bought it pre-earnings. And again, I just like the TAM, right? The total addressable market on OSCR was pretty low, so we took advantage of that, bought it just before earnings right into here on a level that I thought was pretty decent. So we bought that level, and now it's all the way to the upside. We'll see if Oscar can get going here. And again, we'll see what's going on with this, with UNH, but just in the same sector there. Maybe we get, what is it, Cigna? We can see if there's other dump-offs here as well. No, Cigna's not SIG. CNC? Yeah, that's Centene. So this could be another name that we've looked at in the past when we've had things like this with UNH. Centene getting crushed as well to the downside. So there it goes, man. Nice move there.
CNC has their own issues with guidance too. That's usually why they get crushed. Or I just wanted to bring that up as well.
Yeah, no, and I was going to say they're more of an earnings play there, and they did not have a good guide. So we remember that fall from grace for sure. Shout out to Grace there, one of my daughter's friends. Great little hockey player, Grace. Okay, so there it goes. CNC, nice downside play there as well. Okay, there's not much else to do. We talked about where Tesla was. Apple now as well, 228, trying to go upside there. Good play for Apple. Look at the futures now. Come on, TQQs, come on. Look at this move, man. We just got stopped out, and I'll stop at fail. I'll flush myself down El Toilette right now because, yeah, what else to do as the futures are starting to head to the low side. We did have this trade, so I have to be here to tell you that we did have this. We got stopped out once it broke through this little candle right there. I was pretty happy to get out of it. Now that I look at it, I say happy, happy, joy, joy, sad face emoji because now you're hitting those lows once again. And coming through today, we are looking for those imbalances to come out. I think my earpiece just completely died, so I don't have this in anymore. Maybe if I put in my right ear, Andre, I can test that in a minute when you get a second. But there's the fall down there for the TQs, and we're just going to have to wait to see where we go now. Obi, it looks like we nailed that one to the downside, but we do not have any shares to celebrate. Roblox has been going up and down. They did have a problem there, and we did sort of talk about some of the issues, and it was surrounding some of their policies, I believe, there were not that great, and we did have some, I don't know if we should talk, some child issues there with ages and restrictions and all that, and that really hit Roblox over the last little while. Now, my son has been sort of following a little bit about it as he plays Roblox, and he was telling me all about some of these concerns, and you can have a live mic and all that kind of stuff. So Roblox has gotten hit a little bit there, but nicely, I don't know if there was an upgrade today or not, but Roblox did have a nice day there. It looks like on Friday, or what was yesterday? Monday. Had a nice day there on Monday. So I'm not sure what that move was, but a nice little call back up there for Roblox. I still like the stock. I think they got to work through a few things. So 140 potential top there for RBLX, but they're coming into play there one more time here for Roblox. So we'll have to watch out for that. Oklo coming into earnings. Again, Obi tonight up 3% there for OKLO. We'll figure out what their earnings call brings us here, but I think good stuff happening for Oklo. And again, nice bounce off the 50-period moving average. This name not near highs. Looks like it's set up for a nice move into earnings. Again, I like the space. I think they're only going to talk positively. It should be hard for them to guide exactly forward, but again, what's got to power this AI boom? I think it is going to be surrounding somewhere around nuclear names there. So Oklo, we'll see if it can hold out. Their SMR did catch an upgrade, I thought, on our upgrade and downgrade board today. SMR has been getting hit as well after their earnings, down to $35. We'll see if OKLO has anything to say about that today.
Yeah, no, I think they'll report okay. It should be fine.
Oklo. So they are actually negative. Wait a minute.
Is that the?
Is it Oklo or Okta tonight?
Oh, it's
Okta.
Okay.
I saw someone in the chat say they don't have earnings, but I've been saying Oklo all day. So Okta is a Kramer fave. This is in the cybersecurity space, so not Oklo. So my bad, Okta tonight. So yeah, them underneath, not looking as healthy there, Obi. I'm just going to go run and get some water, honestly.
Yeah, no
so I'll give you, I know you're working on stuff, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. I'm kind of watching this market take another pullback here. So we did get that aggressive push coming in on that bid there through the break of that consolidation high here on the Nasdaq. But you can see coming into the last 15 minutes, we are getting a pretty aggressive sell-off back down. No sign of any prices above 350 just yet on Tesla. I punched out when we got back below 349 halves. Not really looking too crazy here on Tesla. That 350 still holding a bit of a held offer there on top of that 350. So that one might need a little bit more patience for that one. And oh boy, a little bit of moves happening around the board here. SoFi coming into its lows. So I know a lot of people were involved with this one here. Also on the volume leader list. Look at that puke coming in on SoFi Technologies. That's breaking down finally. I was looking for the short yesterday. I guess I had to continue looking for it today because today's the day that it's really coming in. Look at that chop in the morning. Sure, don't really want to get involved in that, but we start to make some lower highs back to back, and then holding VWAP now for a fresh low here on SoFi as well. What else were we looking at here? Dr. Pepper, I keep on talking about this one, and guess what? As of right now, with only 15 minutes left, roughly, with the day to end, KDP is at its day lows as well. So continuous selling. So sellers are very, very much in charge on this name on the day today. So something to watch out for. Things that are trending very aggressively. Maybe not everybody's looking at them. They did a bit of an acquisition there, and we got that selling from the pre-market session going into the open all the way from 35s all the way down to 32s, and then a continuation today trading at 29s as we speak right now. So pretty aggressive sell-off there on KDP and Softy as well. We keep talking about Softy, so that's what I'm looking at here. The chat's got some jokes there, but yeah, no, 500 hold. Look at that retest of that 500, holding really, really well, and then pulling back down. Are we poised for lower? That's the question that I'm asking. If we can distinctly hold a little bit below that 500, then maybe, yeah, we are 375. I always like to look for those quarters, and if we can't hold the whole, can we drop down to the next quarter, which would be that 475 level? That's what I'm looking at here on Microsoft. These imbalances are coming out in about 4 minutes, so I'm going to be a little patient to see if there's anything worth kind of coming in. But let's take a quick look at all of the volume leaders on the day today. I know a lot of people involved in Open Door, that $5 level we keep talking about. Let's see if that holds as a bit of a magnet. What's holding right now is a bit of a double bottom on top of that 340 mark. So, oh boy, on that one. NEO reverted pretty much a decent chunk of its action there, traded above prior day's high after a strong sell-off as well. So, yeah, bit of a strength, being shown here on NEO as well. Tech Robotics is here as well. Nvidia very, very strong. We got a strong volume candle right there as well at around 236, and then continues to hold that trend really, really well going into the close. Tech Robotics. This is a bit of a multi-day move. I know a lot of people are involved in this one in terms of a long-term swing as well. We saw the robot sector get a little hyped a little bit earlier last year, going into the end of the year and maybe a little bit of January as well. You can see it traveled all the way from sub-dollars to $6, where it seems like we're taking a little bit of the same journey here once again as we travel from, sure, maybe not sub-dollars now as we've been holding a little bit higher, 173 roughly over the past few weeks, to a high of $3.24 on the day today. So Rich Tech Robotics, nice follow through happening on there. AIFF, that's the next one. And it was flying to the upside this morning, but not really as much anymore as we try to clip that 350 multiple times over and over again, but maybe a little bit of supply showing itself over and over again when we do knock on the door of that. So that's what I got looking at here on AIFF and some of the volume leaders on the day, Sean. So nothing too crazy. There were a lot of moves and a lot of opportunities in the morning and midday session, but end of day, not really seeing too much other than if you were long Apple or if you were long Tesla or if you were short KDP or if you were short SoFi, that all of those are working out for you really nicely as of right now.
All right, so we only have a few more seconds left until these imbalances. So we are getting ready to see if there's anything that's going to show up. But yeah, it was Okta tonight, not Oklo. So my bad on that one. We'll see if there's any going to be. I don't think that my ear is very good here today, so I'm going to cancel those and put those in. Okay, so there goes. My AirPods are now disconnected. So I don't have the show anymore, Joe, Andre. All right, so here we go, man. With only 20 seconds left, there's Oklo right there as a little bit of a bid imbalance. These are all going to populate. This is from 9:30, so in about 10 seconds, we'll get the most recent update that's going to come live from the Nasdaq, and then we'll hit, well, we won't hit anything, but we'll see what winds up happening with stock, because we're expecting to have some imbalances today as the MSCI is ready to kick it in full gear right there. So, all right, here we go, man. Apple with a little bit of a move down there. Microsoft with a 2 million buy. Nvidia with a 2 million buy, sell. Sorry, there's Microsoft. Nice move higher right there. Probably Nvidia, nice move lower. Yeah, Nvidia goes down about $1 right there off the jump. Google also coming in with a little bit of a sell mode there as well. So there goes Google pushing lower, 206, 205 and change coming for Google as that just got hit on a sell side imbalance. Open door with a bid that gets hit there as well. So we're going to wait to see what happens there. Yeah, it just looks like it's Microsoft there, Obi. I don't know if you're going to be involved in anything, as you mentioned, potentially. If you saw something, I don't really see too much AVTR. I'm not really sure what that is, as that's the biggest sell on board. We talked about ConAgra with the sell, so that's affecting that move lower there as well. But there goes the market booming to the upside. So that must have been a net buy right there. Dara just said it was 150 to sell, but yeah, the market go boom right there. So I don't know what was starting that, man. I mean, what was that? Microsoft? Was that Apple? I mean, Nvidia was a sell, but all the way back. Look, talk about getting a $1 discount right there. That went down to 181.20 if you're expecting that. Palantir, there goes Palantir to the moon, they say, for PLTR, as that's really ripping there, Obi. That's been a huge move to the upstart now as well. But okay, I will, Brendan, just on the show. So, all right, so there goes Palantir. All right, I don't know if I'm supposed to restart the machine or e-signal itself, but there it goes. Nice move to the upside for Palantir there into the close. All right, so yeah, not much else for me to look at right here. Yeah, moon, baby, as people say on the, okay, if others can help, great. Okay, so here we go. Palantir 162 and getting going now. 161 and change. We're going to wait to see where that goes. Now UNH still making its move lower here into the close, but there goes the market ahead of Nvidia earnings. I mean, what was this about? We did know that we got some MSCI rebalancing. Is IWM trying to do something here as well? I'm not sure if there's anything going on here with IWM. Let's have a quick look. Up right now 1%, so I don't really see much going on there as some of these names are now starting to pair off. Remember, at 355, we're going to get a pairing event. So this Microsoft bid, although sending this thing up $3 straight to the upside, that looks exactly like the futures, right? There's the Microsoft move. Here's the futures move. So as long as they keep going higher here, it looks like the market will, as too, continue to get going. Apple, AAPL, not Apple as in actual Apple. 228, that looks like it wants to go. Let's see if there's anything happening in Kohl's. We got that recent story there. Yeah, huge move to the downside. Now right back up as they were looking for lenders there to give them some money. They're coming with earnings. So we'll see if KSS is doing anything. That open door mark of 450, that might be holding. We'll see if that happens tomorrow. Still a little small $1.5 million buy. This has done 450 million shares today. So this won't really matter that much to Open Door, but we'll give it a go and see what winds up happening right now with OPEN as that's trying to do some stuff. But yeah, Apple looks like it's leading the way. Looks like Microsoft. There's SoFi. Yuck. Ugh. We just had this kind of upgraded today by Mitch from Trade the Pool was talking a little bit here about SoFi, and you could see today, SoFi could never really get going, right? I mean, all morning, oops, I was zooming the wrong way. All morning, SoFi basically had a bid until it didn't, and there it goes. Once we dropped 26, we haven't really had a chance to even reload that short. You did get a little bit of an opportunity there, but for right now, yeah, not looking super healthy. That is the bid on SoFi. Right now, but only a little bit of time left before the close. So I don't know, Obi, if you're good to go or what you're thinking about right now into the close.
Things right here.
So, okay, so
I think Softy was crazy over with that imbalance, but I think most of it's getting a little bit paired off now. Like you said, got to wait for that 55 to potentially come in and see. Look at that, Apple now starting to tank as well. So Apple may be coming in a little bit aggressively going into the close. TQ is not really selling off as aggressively just yet here, but oh boy, that Apple's coming in quite nicely. What's up, Adara?
This part of the show is brought to you by our friends at Trade the Pool. You've seen Trade the Pool here with us for a while now, and now Trade the Pool has created something special just for you. A free ebook featuring 4 proven swing trading strategies from Trade the Pool's top funded traders. Inside, you will see how they approach the markets, how they manage risk, and what setups they rely on. And so you can learn and grow from what actually works. Download it now by scanning the QR code on screen or hitting the link in the description. Back to you.
Thank you. Yeah, go check that out. I mean, again, the more information you can get, the better. I mean, swing trading is something that is, it's more of like a science than an art, I feel like. Like you got to have your stop orders in there and, you know, you got to figure that out because sometimes the macro story will take a little bit more time to develop. So if you're trading options, especially during swing trading, make sure you do check that all out and get your questions in about options related trades whenever you want. But I feel like, you know, Joe's really good at that and we can talk about decay and whatnot. And we do have Brian Shannon coming here on the after show. So get ready for that as well. So we'll talk to Brian Shannon about some swing trading. Get your questions ready for Brian. I mean, in what may be a little bit of a, I don't want to say a dull earnings because you never know with Okta coming through. And then we have, you know, President Trump has always got a hot mic, it seems like. So we'll see if anything happens for us in the after show. But it's MongoDB. We'll see if data storage and all that is still a thing there. So we'll wait to see what's going on with MongoDB later on tonight. 214, 215, that looks pretty good on the daily as well, hovering around that 200 period moving average. So just with 3 minutes left right there, let's see if Microsoft flipped over MSFT. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like and the subscribe, and make sure you do stay with us after hours, because it will be the after hours show, the recap show with Adara and myself. And then tomorrow it's going to be a big one, man. You've got Neil, you've got Sharif, and you've got Adara, all for NVIDIA earnings. It's not just NVIDIA tomorrow. There's a whole host of names coming through. But there's the Microsoft turn down right now. So turn down for what, says Little John?
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, nothing too crazy, man. I'm just like, I'm kind of watching some stuff. The stuff that I was watching Softy paired off pretty aggressively. A few other things pairing off pretty aggressively as well. So nothing too crazy here, but that wipe up on Microsoft was aggressive on that push through 500. And I think we got that Tesla 350 as well. So yeah, man. It's pretty wild out here. You have to be careful going into these imbalances. We kind of say again and again that coming into a strong rebalance day. You got to watch out for especially on some of the Mag 7 names, for potential wipes like that. And that wipe through 500 was quite aggressive. You can see the market
Microsoft
ripping up, continuing to rip up
Yeah.
as well going into the close. So, oh boy indeed, man.
Yeah.
Google, there's Google with I guess is Google doing too much right now? Google has a little bit of a sell, but it seems like it's trending to the upside alongside the rest of the market here. Oh boy. So, yeah, it seems like some of those came out as a buy, and the market is following through on that.
Yeah, take your time. I'll take it from here into the close now as new holdings. All right, 14 and change, that's there as a bid. So we're just trying to see if there's anything that sort of lasts here into the close. This is a good time right now to refresh your system and make sure that you don't have any pending bids or offers out, right? I mean, if you didn't get filled today, you'll get filled tomorrow or you won't. We regroup again, as well as Bitcoin 11111111 right there. I haven't seen that many ones before. 1111111611 right there. So $111,116.11 there for crypto space. So that's going to be a good one there as we get going. We are going to be, again, joined by Brian Shannon for the recap show. And I hope everyone has a great day and a great Tuesday. Tomorrow's the big one with Nvidia heading into the close. Okay, I did want to see if Tesla did anything. I know that was a trade that you and I had talked about there. Yes, and there it goes. Talk about that 350 break. We knew that it was going to be something coming through for Tesla, and there it is. Boy, oh boy, did it ever take that one out there at 350, ripping up to 351. We'd said we'd be looking for $2, $2 to $3 is what I said, and it looks like you will get that kind of a move with only now 30 seconds to go before these imbalances finally figure themselves out. But there goes Tesla on the nice move upside. I'll keep this up for anybody looking at these. Looks like SoFi will hit with a sell, and that will go out near the end of the day lows for SoFi as you get a sell imbalance there with only 20 seconds left right now. Good day overall. I'm really glad that the market went green for us there in the last little while. The countdown is now on, and we got a special countdown. It's more of an automated one as we work on Studio 8. Glad to have Mark back here today. I hope his trip was well. I didn't get a chance to speak to him. 3, 2, 1, and there it is as the bell has closed. So yeah, we're getting ready to rock and roll here into the final half hour of our programming. Make sure you do stay back with us and join Adair and myself, Obi, and we'll be able to cover everything as far as after hours moves and any plays like that. So I'm going to get over there. Thanks again for today. I know Neil's going to be back hopefully tomorrow, so that should be good. Thank you for filling in, as you always do, as we're running through vacation time now. So as everybody's doing that, and we're glad to have Obi filling up for us. So thanks, Obi. I'm going to head over to that. Great trades. And we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, some solid trading today. A lot of stocks that held trend really, really well. I'm looking at you, Softy. I'm looking at you, Apple, and even Tesla. Tesla, yeah, a little bit of a fumble on Tesla as it comes in. And let me pull up the chart here on Tesla. Oh my God! So Tesla was the one. And I heard you guys talking about, well, I saw you guys talking about it in the chat as well. Tesla was the one to stay involved with. We saw that held offer, multiple knocks on the door. Here it is on the 1 minute as well. You can see knock, 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 knock. And then finally, when we do break through, the pullback holds that 350, making it even better for a nice little push up towards 352 going into the close as well. So nothing too crazy coming, I guess, elsewhere, but Tesla was the one to take through that 350 finally. Now I'm asking, do we finally get that continuation going on from today? We've had now 3 days straight on Tesla that we've had some amazing strength, back-to-back days. There you go. I got an anchored VWAP here as well. And today, just gonna throw on a prior day anchored VWAP from prior day's lows, and you'd be surprised how well sometimes these hold. Look at that consolidation all day long, just holding, and then finally accelerating and extending away from VWAP coming into the close along with some market imbalances as well. We saw that Microsoft was so aggressive there, and this is another stock that trended very nicely coming into the close. Look at this consolidation breakdown. We were talking about that 502.40s when it did distinctly push a little bit lower there, and yeah, a little bit of a push right back in towards VWAP, coming in with a buy imbalance, almost a billion buy imbalance on Microsoft. So, you know, that's the kind of action you can get sometimes when you have a crazy imbalance and an inefficiency in the market, and that'll get balanced real quick. So don't really see anything else. Hopefully you guys had a solid day. I know there was a lot of opportunities. KDP, I'm going to mention it again. KDP, maybe tomorrow, once again, sellers are going to be in charge for KDP. No idea. I'll see you guys around maybe this Friday, but stick around. We got Sean and Adara with the market recap. Oh boy, it's been a blast. I'll see you guys around.
I don't know if Obi was trying to say that I do not have this Friday off.
Oh, so
maybe Neil does. I don't know. I've been going through a little bit of having Fridays off. But we take the break this Friday, unless I do have it off, and my bad, Obi, and I'll have to go double check. But yeah, welcome everybody to the market recap. There he is. What's up, Obi? Welcome to the market recap show. We do want to thank absolutely everybody that's here with us right now. So thank you so much for staying late and joining us. And you know what? Okta's out, but first I want to do a quick little roll call. I just want to see who's here with us, who stayed late, and who didn't. Right now, Mike DeRider's here. Professor Love is here as well. Joe Schmo, Why Not is here. Healing Pain Naturally. Pelican stays late with us as well. As we have Okta right now, $94. Adara's parsing through those numbers. Yo, what's up, Maya? Maya's here. Yummy Thai food. I thought we had a decent Thai meal today. Thai basil.
Thai food?
It's never as good. Yeah, what was that? It was good.
I didn't even know that was Thai food.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, yeah,
No.
Thai beef basil going through there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us again. We do have Brian Shannon, the one and only, coming from Alpha Trends. He'll be here very shortly. We'll talk about all that. Get your questions in the chat. But it's Okta, and it's going higher here, Adara.
Yeah, so they did beat here for Q2 EPS and sales. Earnings or adjusted earnings of 91 cents per share versus 84 expected. Sales 728 million versus 712 million expected. Now Q3 guidance was a bit more mixed. They guided sales between 728 and 730 million. That is certainly a beat compared to estimates of 546 million. So they beat on their sales guidance. Their Q3 EPS guidance was basically in line. They're guiding 74 to 75 cents per share for adjusted EPS versus 75 cents per share expected. Now let's talk about their fiscal year guidance, because they did raise their adjusted EPS guidance for the fiscal year to a range between $3.33 to $3.38. That does beat estimates of $3.28. They also raised their guidance for the sales for the fiscal year 2.75 mil to 2.885 mil is the new guide. They did beat estimates here. So raising here and beating for their fiscal 2025 guidance across the board. However, their guide was a little bit more mixed when it comes to the next quarter, though their current quarter they beat on both metrics.
So identity and access management is what Okta does. So those single logins, stuff like that, is what Okta does. Multi-factor authentication. You know, guys, when you're lining up like those street signs and all that kind of stuff, or how many buses do you see in this picture, that kind of stuff. Okta right now, onboarding and offboarding of that, central database, API management, and customer identity. So another cloud name as well, sort of a software there as a service going through for Okta. You can implement their software into your platform as well. So as another name coming through right now, MongoDB. What we were looking for Mongo was something that they beat, it looks like. EPS right here, Adara, of 66 cents is what we were looking at with revenue of 551. Implied move, though, you have written down here 16%.
That is correct. That's what I
and you might be right, because look at that, Adara, almost to the nose. 16% we're up right now. 15.5% right now for MongoDB. What's this looking like?
Yeah, MDB, I would find, tends to have pretty crazy moves. The last quarter they didn't. They had a healthy adjusted EPS beat for the quarter, $1 per share versus 66 cents per share expected. Sales, 591.402 mil. Also healthily beating estimates of 552.459 mil. I am not seeing anything when it comes to, I've just got their guidance through, perfect, and I just got Box, so that's awesome, Sean.
Okay.
On the earnings. Let's get to MongoDB guidance. They're guiding Q3 adjusted earnings per share between 76 and 79 cents. That would be a beat versus estimates of 71 cents. Their sales guide also better than expected for the quarter, 587 to 592 mil versus 582 mil expected. And we have them raising their guidance for the fiscal year. So that was their quarterly guidance, a nice beat. They raised their guidance for the fiscal year too. So they're now expecting adjusted earnings between 364 and 373 per share. That is well above estimates of 310, and that's also a nice healthy increase from their prior guidance. They also guided, they're now, again, raising their fiscal 2026 sales guidance. They're now expecting 2.34 bill to 2.36 bill, nicely beating estimates of 2.29 bill. So MongoDB, what a look here. I have to say, Sean, I really quickly want to go over Box earnings before I send it back here. They're guiding, they reported adjusted earnings of 33 cents per share, beating estimates of 31 cents. Sales, 294 mil, beating 290.78 mil expected, and I have their guidance as well. They're guiding here Q3 adjusted earnings in line, more or less 31 to 32 cents per share versus 32 cents per share expected. Sales for the quarter, 298 to 299 mil, narrowly beating estimates of 297.465 mil. Back to you.
So I don't know enough about MongoDB and what they're doing, but no SQL database searching. Again, Adobe, eBay, Coinbase, Verizon, big customers of MongoDB, and there they go right now to the upside, absolutely taking off. So looks like we have Okta there. We saw them go up a little bit, 4 or 5% right now, 4% upside. Implied move for Okta 12, so that's going to be a little bit under there. And then Adair just went over Box, so everything's now out. They're down 4%, looking to go a little bit lower. Their implied move was 10 there
I think I know why they're down
as well. So we do have Brian Shannon coming. I do get some good questions already. What's up to James Dell here in the chat? What up to everybody that's been saying hi to us? They really appreciate us staying late there, but we do it every day. So make sure you join us tomorrow, where it's going to be NVIDIA, and then you're going to get some exciting time. So what's up, James? I'm going to ask him, what does Brian think of September? Sure, and how that's coming through. So we'll find out more macro levels. Ask me again, James, if there's anything more specific that you're looking for, not just what does September hold. I mean, I think September generally is I'm going to have to look it up. I think it's a relatively flat month as everybody goes back to school. Wall Street comes back as well. Get those buy keys ready for October, November, into the year end. I think it's going to be a strong year end, especially if these rate cycles happen and the cutting continues and starts. Again, you mentioned that has happened last December was the first time. We'll get another cut here. The first of what should have been 6, looks like it'll be 3 starting in September. But yeah, why the UNH dump? Well, yeah, it's dumping again there in the after hours. I mean, it closes around 300. We get to 299. That low was really scary there when Adair first brought us the story, in and around 294. Again, a criminal probe now. So just looking into not just their practices. Who's phoning me right now?
Well, they already had a criminal probe. It's just that it's broader. The scope is broader than we thought it was going to be.
Perfect. So right there, I thought maybe they're looking at some Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift action right there, but it doesn't look like that's the case right there. Today, I guess apparently they got engaged there at some point. We'll see if that goes through or not. I'm sure it will. Okay, so we did have some movements today in Nvidia because they're reporting earnings, so we could just have a quick check on them tomorrow. We'll figure out that big, huge revenue number. We are expecting a huge number from them, and we'll see if they can take out those tops. Implied move around 7%. We talked about that earlier. Over $250 billion in implied move alone. There's not that many companies that you can name that are greater than $250 billion. So a company movement there for sure. Intel's move, Intel's under that $250 billion market cap, so they're expecting an Intel of a move tomorrow. Intel today flat on the day, down 1%, flat here in after hours as they sort of disclose, and President Trump discloses that 10% stake. We'll see what happens with them. I think $30, pretty much the high, what we can expect for Intel. That's that drop-off spot right there that we had back last summer on a really bad report in August, coming back in for Intel. So they bottomed out in and around this 19. It looks like a good opportunity for them to get back to the high side there. So we'll see what's going on with Intel after hours. Not much over there. We got a big move in AMD today, which wound up being relatively muted at the end. The 1-minute chart, let's go into a 5-minute chart for AMD. It started off pretty decently with a high take in and around 2.5% as they get that deal done now with IBM, a partnership giving them access to more computing power and trying to deal with that threat of Nvidia. We'll see what happens with this IBM call right now, but 167 127 coming into place right there for AMD, and we'll see if that's going to be a spot tomorrow. We'll look to trade those guys later on. Tesla today, nice move up. No real news today, but there's the play. Great break of 350. Was bouncing its head off 350 pretty much all afternoon. That break happens in the last 10 minutes, and we get higher there. It was a decent close for imbalances, but we'll have to wait to see what happens with Nvidia and some of these imbalances over there. As I see, we have a new host now, Jose and Obi now over there at the desk. So there they are. Hey guys, what's up? Now you're on. Haha, we got you on air right there. Okta still going higher here in the after hours. As, yeah, they're pushing new highs right now, 4%, $95. The other name that was higher was MongoDB. I'm not even sure what these guys do, but again, another name. Wow, now over 21% Adara. MongoDB now kicking higher and higher and higher as we continue to get longer here in all of that. Snowflake comes out tomorrow. This should be a really interesting name as well. So there goes Snowflake on some MongoDB news as well. Look at Snowflake's
move. I think it's probably getting some like sympathy in like that whole data space. They also do cybersecurity. So likely Okta and MDB both, I would say, probably helping Snow. I want to mention, though, I do have some guidance on Box. We got more guidance on Box. I read the quarterly guidance, but we got their annual guidance was a bit unfortunately. So they raised their fiscal 2026 adjusted EPS guide to 126 to 128. Unfortunately, that is still well below estimates of 134. Let's talk about their fiscal 2026 sales guidance. They raised it to 1.17 bill to 1.175 bill, but that's like right in line here with 1.172 bill expected. So they did beat here for the quarter. Their guidance was pretty in line for the forward quarter as well, but their fiscal 2026 guidance is, even as after they raised it, just not what analysts were looking for.
So did we just get BTAI news or what, Adara? Because BTAI brain chip right here, neuromorphic AI. So
okay, apparently they're going to be announcing the results on August 27th.
Okay.
So we don't have results yet.
It's funny, my kid this weekend couldn't stop talking about putting chips in people's heads. There we go. So
I have some Fed stuff too coming through right now.
Is there some Fed stuff? Okay, we'll clarify that and we'll go over to Adara in a minute. But BTAI looks to be going here as well. Nice upside play there for BTAI. Let me find out what is going on here, what their short flow looks like, what some of the ranges are for BTAI. So short flow of only 1.89%. I don't blame you. I would not want to be short a name that's in this space. That's for sure. We have 14 million shares right now outstanding for BTAI, so that name dancing around right there. We've seen highs of $7 in the past. This looks great. This looks like it's forming a great little wedge here to break out right now. Kind of flag pattern upside, wedging out right now, looking to break through this $8 mark. Watch out now, BTAI brain chip, like the space, like everything you're talking about, and similarly to what Mitch was talking about today as well, you're going to have to find some new spaces right now. We talked about SMR pulling back. We talked about some, what was it? Rigetti was actually down. No, Rigetti was up 5% today, actually. As quantum computing, again, may have had its day, but some of these names pulling back quite nicely now. RGTI is one of those names, as well as QBTS. I know Neil was talking about being into this name a little bit there. So that's also $15, as both these names hovering around $15. So the guy with Neuralink, apparently, James Dell says that it's changed his life. So I need to get more information about Neuralink and exactly what that does, because I just find that hard to understand how exactly a chip in the old brain works there.
I mean, if it makes me drive, like maybe I'm cool with that.
Yeah, or I could see it helping some disorders and things like that, like turning off and on different neurons.
Able to stay awake more, I honestly would probably really appreciate, right? So I think as someone, again, not in the same scenario as the Neuralink guy, but I think, like, I've talked about this. I do wear a hearing aid. I'm hard of hearing. I can't stay awake. I'm like, I think there are certain scenarios where, eventually once they improve Neuralink, I think you could get broader use cases. So that's just my quick opinion. I want to mention here SATS, though, EchoStar Corporation, speaking of Elon Musk, apparently, according to Semaphore, both Starlink and T-Mobile are considering, or I guess looking into EchoStar's spectrum after AT&T agreed to buy that $23 billion chunk. So the AT&T deal was reported earlier today, or I guess announced earlier today, but now Starlink and T-Mobile are apparently, I guess, trying to get a piece of the pie here with EchoStar. At least they're considering using their spectrum. So good to know. With regards to the Fed, seeing a couple different reports here. Apparently, the Trump administration is trying to get more influence in the regional Fed boards with regards to the presidents, which is pretty interesting. And Wall Street Journal also reporting that Trump wants to almost immediately replace Fed's Cook. Like he wants to move on it really quickly. He implied he already knows who he wants to replace her as well. So we're gonna have to wait and see. Again, her ouster has not even been legally finalized yet because there is very likely to be a challenge from her legal team. She's already said so.
Yeah, she's already got that legal team all locked there and loaded. All right, thanks for all of that, Adara. We're just going to go over quickly. Here's actually pretty cool name, Satellites, right? EchoStar. So SATS. I remember that name there from this AM, and we never got through this 57.50 for some reason here in the after hours. I mean, as Adara was just talking about it, we spiked up there to $64. But again, it's this high right there, $58, coming back in. SATS after hours, trying to make a move higher. They're up just a small 70% there today as a deal with AT&T. So, all right, here's a stock heat map. And, you know, last week we had saw a bunch of red over on this side. And then Jackson Hole came and we talked about sort of why I thought that was going to be a bullish situation. It turned out to exactly be that. But right now, look at the finance today. This is, to me, one of the more impressive spaces here as we get ready for that rate cut. We get ready to get some of these breakouts. And if you look at some of the financials, they are ready to break out. JP Morgan trying to bust through that 300. We'll see if it did that. What was the closing price? Sorry, 298.57. So we got pretty close. Look at this on a breakout. I'll call up on a bigger chart in just a minute. But BAC upside as well. Citigroup trying to go. We already talked about Charles Schwab today. We talked about IBKR getting that bump. But it's JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. Also, I love some Charles Schwab as well as we get into some of those brokerage plays, right? IBKR. Let's just go over that just real quickly here today as they get that bump into the S&P 500. They were actually falling for the majority of the day. Yeah, there it is. So, hey, unfortunately, that news came fast and furious. I don't know if a lot of people had their eyes on this. We were looking at Robinhood for a potential bump, but you weren't really able to play this bump up as it happens after hours. And then there's the move back in there for IBKR. So I would say you can try to buy the dips in and around the 50-period moving average as they get added to the S&P 500. Not Robinhood, not SoFi. There's days will come as you go upside. I heard Joe talking about maybe the street still doesn't like Robinhood. I disagree with that. I think that stuff's all in the past. We move forward with some new plays. Robinhood looks like it wants to go upside here today, 109, 109.50 for Robinhood, closing the day on a highs. Look for them to break through. I don't know, 120 is still a ways away. That's another 10% higher from here, but I do think that Robinhood does have a look to it that could happen. SoFi also today had that huge move, but then gave it back and closes on the lows. So SoFi today, there it is, man, looking great on a day. This is not a daily, this is a 900 period, but on the daily chart, looking to break higher goes SoFi. The reason why is I can't get the daily to show us after hours over here for some reason, so I'm using a 900 period. But there it goes, nicely moving to the upside there, SoFi. We had Mitch on talking about maybe this name bottomed out. I would say yeah to that. But from $9, for it to be the next Palantir, it would have to go to 180. So we'll see if that happens, but that's not what he's necessarily saying. This is just an exciting name. We'll look to see what SoFi can do. Again, short float on SoFi, unknown to me. We'll find that out in
more Fed stuff.
Just a minute right here. So more Fed stuff with Adara, and then we'll go over that heat map one more time because I want to talk about Eli Lilly, but what's going on with the Fed?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to talk Eli Lilly. That was like my best stock of
the
day by far, and I took it in all the directions, and people know I'm usually short biased, so that's always fun for me. Let's talk here. So now apparently Wall Street Journal is reporting that Trump is considering Stephen Moran, who, by the way, he already nominated to replace the other outgoing Fed Governor here, Kugler, as well as David Malpass to replace Fed's Cook. So Stephen Moran, unclear what role he's going to serve. He's now being, I guess, floated around for two different Fed positions. And again, he was already nominated to replace Kugler. Now, this David Malpass individual, he has not been mentioned at all in a lot of these Fed talks. So I looked into him really quickly. He was previously the president of the World Bank Group from 2019 to 2023. He was also Trump's undersecretary of the Treasury for International Affairs during his first administration. I need to look more into this individual, but David Malpass, I guess, might be malpassing the bar that Trump is looking for this Fed appointment. I think it was kind of you, Harvey, there. There are some, I don't really know too many people that are on the GLP-1. Sharif actually mentioned today that his father was for health reasons. And I think that to me is where I think this is going. I think there's a lot of people obviously on it for weight loss and all that kind of stuff. But, for me, I've just been going to the gym in the middle of the day and trying to do it
the hard way. For me, I think putting on or stopping the weight is just the love of carbs. And I think if I stopped having so many carbs, I know, that's the thing, I mean, I'm Italian, what am I supposed to do? If my poor nonna would be rolling in her grave if I told her that I had spaghetti squash instead of pasta.
How is spaghetti squash?
The best.
I gotta try that. I've never.
I really like it. Yeah, you put in the oven and then you scrape it.
How do you make it? You just like.
Yeah, you cut it.
Make it out of the. Okay.
No. You make it in. You put it in the oven. You cut it in half. Put it in the oven, and then it cooks everything inside. And then it just comes, and you can use a fork.
So you do it after the fact. You make the spaghetti after. Okay,
Yeah,
I would have thought you made it first. Okay, I like that.
Yep.
I'm gonna try that.
Anyways, Eli Lilly today with GLP-1, of course. And look, I think it's great for, there's lots of uses for these GLP-1 drugs, including not overdoses, but looking to cravings or health-related risk, diabetes and things like that. But anyways, today's phase 3, I guess it was, trial results for their oral version there. Right now it's just stick and play, but right there, it's called Orglapron. I don't know. Primary, all key endpoints there got good results there. So it was about 10% of body weight, found 10.5% of body weight, over 23 pounds, 72 weeks. So again, I don't know exactly how the science of it all works, but I guess it just turns off some of those cravings was the word I was looking for in the past. But J&J downside, Eli Lilly catching that 5%. And again, this is the most recent stock that I was buying was Eli Lilly, and there it is, LLY. Brian, I think, is having some technical difficulties. I'm not sure he'll be joining us today as we're getting on in time. So shout out to Brian. I will invite him back for Thursday's show, where we don't have a guest, actually. So Thursday's show, you can always come on right there, right now. But yeah, I'm just going to the gym in the middle of the day and trying to do my best. Today we did 47 laps of a 25-meter pool. So that was about, yeah, it's about 1.3 kilometers or so. So I'm not sure how many miles that is, but those of you guys that are swimmers might know. And then I try to do the elliptical a little bit as well. Okay, thank you to everybody that's in the chat. I want to say a big shout out to all of you that have joined us here as well. There it is, man, over 3,300. Get that like button going, man. I guess I got to hit it myself. Over 580 of you. Hit the like button, man. Are you going to the gym? Hit the like button. You on GLP-1s? Hit the like button. You like spaghetti squash? Hit the like button. You like Adara, myself, as this team? Hit the like button. You're breathing? Hit the like button. Hey, if you could have, normally you do this fun at the end of the show. One pet. Like, did you have any pets growing up?
Yeah.
Dog, cat?
My dog is famous. Like, if you Google Laser LePage, you can find my dog on Google. R.I.P. He died, unfortunately, last year. But bro, like, ran away from my cottage to my house.
He ran from your cottage to your...
To our house.
Which, give me a context
so it's
there.
about an hour.
What?
So what happened was, he didn't get right to our house. He got like a block away. But what happened was, so we just got him. He was scared of the fireworks. We had him for 6 weeks. He heard fireworks. He spooked off. He ran away from our cottage. We spent like weeks looking for him. We were like, where is the dog? Where he at, though? He had a chip in his ear. And I guess like right after Canada Day, because he went missing around May long weekend. Canada Day, he found a family. And I guess he was like, this has got to work. So the family drove him to the Humane Society. They scanned the chip. And they, brought Laser back to us, and he had lost a lot of weight and had a lot of ticks.
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, I know. So and he lived like a good, 14 years.
Wow. Was it a mud? Was it a
beagle mix?
Oh wow! Yeah. And he made it all an hour. It's amazing
these
things,
guy.
man.
Yeah.
It's amazing these things. Impressive little guy.
What you have now? I think dog or cat or like one of each. What about you?
Yeah. So the unique pet that we have in our house is an axolotl, right now. Like a salamander. It's like, you don't know what an axolotl is?
No, I don't. I feel uneducated.
Okay, axolotl. You have to spell it really weird. It's an amphibian. Here it is. It's these things right here. So see, these guys, I don't know if you can, I don't know how to get here. If I go to images.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah, they're like from Minecraft. That's when my kids started to like it. So we got our axolotl, actually was missing like 3 fingers and they all grew back. They actually grow their own organs back. Like you can chop off its arm, it will grow back. I did not test that out, so don't PETA me or anything like that, but we do have an axolotl in our house, and it's a gorgeous one. It looks very much like these.
What's his name? Their name.
Axel.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's
so
cute.
That's what it is. And
I like that.
We weren't sure if it was a boy or a girl, so If it was a girl, his name was Rosie because of the colors.
Axl Rose? I would think you would be Rose because of the Axl Rose.
Yeah. So that is what it was. So it was Axl and then the color and then the Axl Rose. So that is axolotl. But we have Belle. I actually have a famous dog as well, Guido the Pug. If you go on Instagram, you'll see Guido the Pug, and he's passed. But now we have Belle.
And then you talk about Belle, yeah.
Yeah, Belle is pulls at my heartstrings. That dog, right there. She got sprayed by a skunk, and I had to immediately address peroxide. Apparently, I always thought that growing up it was tomato juice. Like when you get sprayed.
Skunks?
Yeah.
I thought it was tomato juice too.
Yeah, but then I think the wife just went right to some LLM of some sort and asked, and apparently, yeah, Mexican lizard. Yeah, good call there. That is what those axolotls are. But peroxide and water there.
For skunks?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was washing it.
I gotta work on that.
She was really good about it, and now it's funny because she runs into our backyard every night and looks for that skunk again, like to be friends with it.
Oh, she wants to be friends with it.
She's not scared. Like
because my family has a cat, and that cat is like trying to do bad things to squirrels in our yard. So I thought that was what Belle was trying to do. Like apparently she'll just like walk around and like try to get them, like she's like attacking them, and I'm like,
no.
But that's cute that Belle just wants to be friends.
Yeah.
Cats are just
she kind of sits there and waits for it to come through. But again, thank you everybody for joining us one more time here today. And what we didn't go over yet was crypto, and I think crypto had a pretty good day. I mean, this is what XRP looks like. I really am starting to like Ripple. Right here. I do own some. I know, I believe Obi's in this name as well. Obi and I think the only two here that do own some XRP, but shout out to the Army right there. I've been talking about this for a couple weeks. I did get some more down there at 280. We talked about that. We're looking to buy some 270s and 280s. And if we lose that, then I'm going to look at the 200 period again. And then, I'm trying to be in this for a long haul, but I do think $2 looks like it's a pretty good bid. I'll hold right there. And $2 is a big move down, man. I mean, I don't want to go from 3 to 2. You're going to knock off 3 to 2, 33%, and I don't want to hit that. But right into there, that's not bad. We haven't seen these levels since the beginning of the year. That was holding there, and we did see it recently in the June move. And then, of course, tariff time, we had a move as well. But I like Ripple there. Fast money transfers, lots of real-world offerings there. We did get Ethereum over the weekend, did also have, there it is on Coinbase. I just use Coinbase as the top. Coinbase does not have it break 5,000. I guess there was some talk there about them eventually breaking through that $5,000. I did think that there was some love for that, but either way, it does take out the 48.5 level there, creating a new all-time high there for Ethereum. So they had a huge run, man. Tom Lee and company must be really happy about that. We'll see and find out where he dumped his shares of BMNR and whatnot. But there goes Ethereum, nicely done today to the upside.
I have a question. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. How do you feel about the whole Tom Lee BMR thing? BMR?
You know how I feel about this.
Because I feel weird about it.
No, I always feel bad about those things.
So I know how you generally feel about this, but I don't know if you and I have had a talk specifically about BMNR, because I had a talk on the midday about BMNR.
You're right.
And I think I was of a different opinion than other people, because I don't know. I find it to be a little bit...
I think it's snake oily.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And I just, for me, and people say you're allowed to talk up your position anywhere.
Yes, but there's a difference between being on the board.
Yeah, and not just that, it's right now when you're talking about crypto, I just feel like there's a little bit of still exuberance. What's up, Russell? Russell just got famous there. Hey, no problem.
Russell 2000.
Yeah, Russell 2000. Yeah, nice move there. But no, I'm worried about it because I feel like there's a lot of traders right now. We're still very uneducated of exactly what Ethereum is. What are these smart contracts?
I'll say that.
Right. So what winds up happening is these guys know that there are traders willing to follow them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We can all put our money wherever we want to. But I do think that when you're looking at a BMNR, I mean, I worry about, sure, they can talk about whatever. I don't know how many shares he has in all of this. I don't know if he's out, if he's dumped it, what the play is. And I just feel that it gets talked up and then it comes back in. And I just worry about retail. And again, we can follow whoever we want and all this. Look at MSTR. Michael Saylor's been doing this for a minute. Yeah. So again, I don't have a problem with it. I just don't like it. And it's the same thing as Alex Karp going on CNBC and talking about defense and talking about how Palantir fits into that system. Yeah. We can all buy shares however we want. But all in all, I think if you like the stock, great, do your research there. My whole problem is offerings and all of that. How much information do you know as a board member about the stock specific? If you like Ethereum, buy Ethereum, stay away from the stock. That's my advice, because we were just at $73 a Dara, and now you're down to 50. That's a big move. And for what reason? It's obviously not following Ethereum. So I say watch out for BMNR. What were they saying? What's your opinion?
Well, my opinion is that I think even if you compare Saylor to what Tom Lee is doing. So Saylor is considered much like, well, Josh Brown, to an extent, will say Dan Ives, et cetera. He usually gives technical opinions. And, he is very bullish. He's always known to be bullish, but he is trusted more kind of on the analysis or opinion side of thing, right? Like, sure, people have their positions, but his view in the market is a bit different. But then if you have that, if you add, someone who's a talking head in the media, and then you make them the board member of a company and they're continuing to talk up their own position when they have that added stake, I find it to be a little bit iffy. And I see even to compare to Saylor. Saylor will talk up in his position, but Saylor says wild things like, oh, Bitcoin is like a swarm of cyber hornets, or, he posts photos of himself looking like he works at McDonald's and stuff like that, right? That to me is a little bit like, I think it's less targeted than what.
Let me give you another side too. Michael Saylor has been talking about Bitcoin for 10 plus years, if not even more than that, and people can fact check that.
I think it's been about 5 because I think they started getting in around 2020. I think. Yeah.
Well, that's getting in, but Bitcoin's been around, so is Ethereum for a while. I think it's a little bit different when you start talking up Ethereum. Happenstance when these treasuries start happening, when it's at its lows, all that kind of stuff. Michael Saylor has been talking about Bitcoin at 10,000, at 20,000, at 40,000, at 50,000, and is buying more up here.
Yeah.
So it's just, to me, that's the case there. He's been loving crypto for a while.
Yeah.
I still like the space. Are you invested in crypto yet?
No, I'm not involved. I will say one thing more with Saylor too. I think because he's not giving technical levels, I also feel like it's a little bit more like like you said, he just likes the space and he'll like it at every level. But with Tom Lee, he's telling you, oh, I think this will technically break out. I'm like, but you have to understand that any technical he says does maybe come with a bit of a caveat of the BMNR thing.
Right.
Whereas Michael Saylor is usually not giving technicals. He's like, oh, Microsoft, you should get into crypto. Everybody, Bitcoin. It's a little bit more general to me.
You know who I should have on? My friend Crypto Burb. He's been on here for a while. Yeah,
I've heard of this guy, but I.
Yeah. I'm going to hit him up because quite clearly, look, Adair and I are just spitting here.
I would love to.
There are people in the chat that have done their due diligence and all of that kind of stuff. So this is just our opinion on BMNR and Saylor and Tom Lee. And again, these guys have made a lot of money with a lot of different things and are the smartest guys in the room. So everyone can follow whoever they want to. I just think that for me, I'm still invested in Ethereum through like an ETHA type of thing there as well. And I just think that everybody needs to do what they have to do. And even then, even 50% of our audience, we did this study, maybe we should do it tomorrow, are not invested or are invested.
Yeah, we should do
cup
that.
half full, right there, 50-50, invested in crypto. So I think there's a lot of people that are still waiting to get involved. So I think we should do that study tomorrow. Okay, Adara, that was a lot of fun. We always talk about back and forth, but now that you had that Thai food and didn't realize it was Thai food, what is your favorite Thai dish? Can you think of one?
Oh my God, I haven't had much Thai food. I'll go pad Thai.
Perfect. Oh yeah, I think I might have even asked you that before.
What about you?
I was gonna say like the coconut curries.
Okay, I've heard those are
like there's one place here that has off the menu. You have to tell it to them. It's at Salad King. You ever heard of Salad King? It's on Yonge Street, just north of the Eaton Center, so just north of Dundas, on the west side.
Okay.
It's called Salad King. My friends and I were going to this when it was a little soup Nazi place, and now they're much bigger. They have 2 floors. It's called Thai Islamic Noodle. Trust me, do not get any spice.
Okay, yeah.
If they ask you for spice level, just say nothing at all.
Okay.
If you say 1 spice, not good for you.
Because I've had that issue before where I've said 1 spice and then I can't eat the food.
Do not.
Okay.
Do not. Show them your skin color, whatever. Do not tell them you want any heat at all. But it's Thai Islamic Noodle. Shout out to Salad King. If you need a sponsor, I'm over here. Thank you so much, Adara. Thank you to everybody for coming through again today. Shout out to my guy, Fabian. Big job from Obi today as well. Adara's here. She's going to be here tomorrow, hopefully.
I will.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Obi's here. Joe, Sharif. And we'll have Neil back. So Neil and I reunited again, and it feels so damn good. And that will be tomorrow morning at 8:30. Thank you to everybody for once again joining us. That's Adara. I'm Sean. Ciao for now.